Overhead Door, Stalk and Peterson LLP, Shane's Pharmacy, and Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota.
Swings and lines it in the right center field. One run will come in to score. They will round the other runner. He will come to the plate. The throw not going to be in time. A 2-run single for Parker O'Brien gives the Govs a 9-7 lead.
Your baseball is also brought to you by American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Pierre Closets, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and AGE.
2-0 pitch. That will be a line shot into left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases, and it's going to score Terwilliger. That's one way to bust out of a slump. Sunshine round second. He's on his way to third. The throw will come in. He will
Your
slide
baseball
in.
is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gales Gas, Lamb Motors, Xander Auto Parts, Comtech, Envirotech, First Dakota National Bank, Kruger Climate Systems, May Adam, and Hunsley Auto Body.
Here's the 0-2. Runner takes off. Terwilliger will sky this one out to center field. Out towards the wall. It is going to get out of here for a 2-run shot for Cooper Terwilliger on an 0-2 pitch.
Pierre Baseball is also brought to you by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Koenig, AirTech Heating and Cooling, Pierre Roofing and Gutters, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, and Todd's Electric.
2-0. It'll be a swinging base hit up the middle. Rounding third is Deal. The throw will come to the plate, but Deal slips and falls. The ball will still get away to the backstop. Deal will come in to score, and the Governors will win the ball game.
And now to the booth for the call of the game with KCCR award-winning sports director, John Winkler.
And a good afternoon as we welcome you here to Heights Stadium and the first of 5 straight doubleheaders here at home as the Eights take on Spearfish Post 164 in our first game of our doubleheader here this afternoon. We'll 4 o'clock first pitch, so here in just about 10 minutes from now, we'll get ready for our first game and then go into game 2 of Hometown Hero Night as well, and we'll have a presentation after and between games 1 and 2 as the Eights are looking for another win here this afternoon as the Eights split with Post 320, 1-3 the Dakota Classic, split with Post 320 on Wednesday, and now here take on this Spearfish Post 164 team as Blake Dean will join us here in just a moment, and we will talk about this matchup here as the Eights again coming in at 6-12 on the season, and for Spearfish at 9-8 as we have Blake Dean here with us. And Blake, this is it's a big. I mean, everything's a big doubleheader when you're playing a South Dakota opponent. But where Spearfish is at, and you know they've got a split with Post 320. They've got their 4-2 record right now in South Dakota play. These are big seed points up for grabs right now for both of these teams. And if the Eights want to be hosting here in the best of 3 series at the end of the season, these are must-win games. You cannot drop these games to Spearfish.
Yeah, every game that you play a South Dakota team is an important game. To your point, John. Spearfish is coming in to Hyde Stadium looking to pick up a couple of wins against Post 8 here. And obviously Post 8 coming off of a split against Post 320, like you said, out in Rapid City earlier this week. And that's a really good Post 320 ball club. So picking up a win out there, huge for the Eights as this weekend, Oahe Days weekend, comes into effect here. And we'll see if the Eights can send the fans home happy and maybe over to Steamboat Park with a couple of wins here after we're done here tonight.
Well, Spearfish is going to throw their best guy, Walker Wiesman, who has thrown the most innings and is their top guy going into this doubleheader. The Eights will counter with Will Danberg, who had his best start of the season, probably both spring and summer. I mean, it really has to be spring and summer because he ended up with a big doubleheader or a big shutout, 2-hit shutout against Yankton and a really good team. And so he's trying to match that again as what he did on last Friday against the Yankton Post 12 team. It is Pierre and Spearfish coming up here from Hyde Stadium. We'll step aside for 3 minutes and come back with more of our pregame show as you're listening to Pierre Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home, It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota and Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back, it is for Pierre Post 8 and Spearfish Post 164. Let's look at our starting lineups for both of these teams as we start with Spearfish Post 164, who comes in at 9-8 on the season after their win last night against Belfouche. Darren Crooks will lead things off. He's a center fielder. Walker Wiesman, the pitcher, will bat second. Tucker Olson, the left fielder, is batting third. Owen Brunner, the catcher, batting fourth. Jack Scharf, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Sean Sewell, the first baseman, batting sixth. Cooper Chase, the right fielder, will bat seventh. Bray Bauer, the second baseman, batting eighth. And Tucker Wiesman will bat ninth for Spearfish, as it is he's a shortstop, so straight 9 across the board for Spearfish. For Pierre Post 8, Carter Shufflebein, the shortstop, will lead things off. Hudson Stosher, the second baseman, will bat second. Sutton Sunshine, the catcher, batting third. Will Eilers in the cleanout spot. He is playing right field. Jackson Goodman, the third baseman, he'll bat fifth. Bridger Babcock is the first baseman, batting sixth. Alec Eiler is a DH. He's batting seventh. Aiden Johnson will bat eighth and play left. And Porter Hunsley rounds out the order as a center fielder. And again, Will Danberg is on the mound for Pierre Post State in Game 1 of our doubleheader, as he'll be looking for his second win. He has got a win and a save in his 2 appearances so far. Not a bad couple outings for Will Danberg, who has got a whip at under .5 and a batting average against of under 100 through his first 8 1/3 innings. So as those starting lineups are being introduced and onto the field, we will take another break. We'll come back with first pitch between Pierre and Spearfish, as you're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Spring is the season for a fresh start, and that includes your technology. Whether you are looking to upgrade or need to breathe new life into your current device, CommTech is your one-stop solution. Experience the brilliance of LG OLED TVs, the immersive sound of Sonos and JBL, or the unmatched performance of Lenovo laptops. Buy with confidence thanks to our price match guarantee and 0% interest on selected purchases. We're your locally owned technology experts on the truck bypass. CommTech, we sell the best and fix the rest.
Koenig of Oneida, Pierre, and Winter has provided our services to growers of South Dakota for over 50 years. We focus on providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical, soil sampling, seed sales, and treating, stop in and see us at Koenig with offices located in Oneida, Pierre, and Winter.
As we welcome you back, it is just about first pitch between Pierre and Spearfish as we are set and ready to go. Joe Wicker alongside Blake Dean in our first of two games today. It is Hometown Hero Nights, and we will have a presentation after Game 1 between Games 1 and 2. And the late Coach Bill Gayton will have that Hometown Heroes family will be here to accept the award, and it will be a good honor for Coach Gayton to be named the hometown hero and for his family to be here for that.
Yeah, Coach was such a permanent fixture at the ballpark for so many years. He was always here, whether it was in a coaching capacity, whether it was in just an advisory role. He didn't have to be on staff. He just loved baseball. And he was a guy who was willing to help anybody with anything, whether it was pitching or hitting or, he was just a constant joyous presence to be around. And one of his claims to fame in terms of Pierre baseball was that he was the assistant coach on the 2017 Legion team that won the state championship. So, he's remembered in that regard, but really more so as a guy who was such a fixture at this ballpark for so many years, and it still feels weird to come to Hyde Stadium and not see Bill Gayton around the ballpark.
Derek Crooks will step to the plate to lead us off, as Will Danberg toes the rubber. The right-hander will deliver the game's first pitch. And a swing and a miss by Crooks for strike one, and we are underway here at 3:59. By the way, we will also talk with Carter Sanderson. We'll start that in the bottom of the first inning. And we'll have a conversation and talk some baseball, but also, of course, some hockey with Carter Sanderson, who is a Senior Legion alum, by the way, Blake, and he just graduated high school, last month.
Yeah.
And he is a Senior Legion alum for this 8s team. Counts 1-1 here to Darren Crooks. 1-1 pitch from Danberg. That's outside. And a 2-1 count here for Crooks, who is coming in hitting .240 on the season, 3 doubles, 12 runs driven in. He is one of 5 players for Spearfish that have driven 10 plus and driven in 10 plus in 17 games to this point. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's ripped down the line. That is past a diving Jackson Goodman into left field for a base hit. And Spearfish will open up with a runner on at first here to kick off the top of the first inning. As we look at the defensive side of things for this 8s team, from left to right, it is Aiden Johnson in left, Porter Hunsley in center, and Will Eilers in right, Jackson Goodman in third, Carter Schuffelbein at short, Hudson Stosher at second, Bridger Babcock at first, Sutton Sonnenschein behind the plate, and Will Danberg is on the mound for Pierre Post State.
We'll say, what a play by Aiden Johnson. That was a screamer down the third base line, got past Goodman at third, and Johnson did an excellent job getting to the ball in the left field corner and relaying it to the shortstop and Schuffelbein to keep Crooks to just a single rather than stretching it into a double.
This is now Walker Wiesman, the pitcher. Best hitter on the team in terms of average hits, but he does not have an extra base hit on the season. He got 22 hits, but no doubles or triples yet for Wiesman. That was on the inside corner for a strike. The count's 1-1 as you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting station. A .386 batting average, other than Tucker Olson, who's got one more hit than he does, and a .451 batting average. He is one of the better hitters on this team. And, of course, Olson hitting third. Here's the 1-1. There's a chopper to the right side. Bridger Babcock will field. The only play will go to the first base bag. And so there's one down now here in the top of the first, and it moves that runner into scoring position at second with one away. And it brings up Tucker Olson to try and drive in the game's first run.
Yeah, just a 2-hopper to Bridge over at first. He goes and gets the big hop, doesn't let it bounce again. Able to easily take the unassisted out over to first base. Crooks does move up to second on the play, but 1 out recorded here in this top of the first for Will Danberg.
So Tucker Olson, number 3 hitter, and again the rest of that lineup, Owen Brunner, the catcher, will bat in the cleanup spot. Jack Scharf, the third baseman, followed by Sean Sewell, the first baseman. Cooper Chase hitting 7th, the right fielder. Bray Bauer, the second baseman, and then Tucker Wiesman, the shortstop, rounding out the order for Spearfish, who is batting just 9. Well, they are obviously only batting 9, but there is no DH as the first pitch swinging, and that one's fouled, and it will hook its way foul for strike 1. This Tucker Olson, best hitter on the team, 5 doubles, a triple, 15 runs driven in. He has team lead in hits, tied for the team lead in doubles. With that 1 triple, obviously there's only 3 triples, but Brunner's got 2 of those 3. And then he's got the team lead in RBIs. Only Walker Wiesman with more singles than what Tucker Olson has. That one is high and outside, and the count's 1-1. Here to the number 3 man, the batting order. And Tucker Olson, the left fielder. As a team, they're hitting .300 coming into this game on the season. An OPS at .777. They've scored 103 runs, 85 of those with RBIs for Spearfish. Here's the 1-1. That one's down the middle for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Danberg, again, he gave up just 2 hits in his last time out, so he's already halfway there. If he's going to go a 2-hit shutout, that's good. We've already got the first hit out of the way. He can work through the rest of this. I don't know if he wants to guarantee that or not, but if he can match what he did last time, he is already halfway to the amount of base runners he was giving up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3 on the outside corner. Big strikeout for Danberg, and there's now 2 down, his first strikeout, and it brings up Owen Brunner to the plate.
Yeah, since you already jinxed him, you may as well just double down. May as well make it a 1-hit shutout for Will here in this first game of the doubleheader. Well,
he is on 8 1/3 innings, now obviously 8 2/3 innings, but coming in, he has the second start. He's 1-0. He did pick up a save in his only other appearance, giving up just 2 hits to this point, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And then the ERA is sitting at 0 as there's a wave and a miss of the first pitch for strike 1 by Owen Brunner, the catcher. And then a whip at .48 and a batting average against at 74 for Danbury. That is just about as good as it gets through the first 8 1/3 innings for a pitcher of any kind. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A pitch in the dirt, and Brunner went chasing, and it's now an 0-2 count. So 2 strikes. Owen Brunner, the catcher, he is down in the count. Danberg looking to try and get the final strike and the final out here in this top of the first. Here's the 0-2 from Danberg. Just missing outside. Most of the infield moving to that first base dugout, but just a little bit wide. And the count's now 1-2.
That was a real just a bit outside, not the Bob Euchre just a bit outside. That missed by maybe an inch.
That one might have got the head tap from Sun and Shine if ABS was around here in Legion Baseball. Brunner will call time. He'll reset. Danberg will reset as well, looking for a second strikeout and work around the leadoff single here at the top of the first inning. Here's the 1-2. Runner takes off for third. The pitch is wide, and standing up over at third is Crooks with a stolen base. And the count goes to now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now 90 feet away is that game's first run here for Spearfish.
And probably smart there by Sun and Shine to save a throw. You don't want the ball getting away from Goodman at third if you're confident in your pitcher.
2-2, he's swinging a miss, change-up, and Danberg's got back-to-back strikeouts, and that will take care of the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the first, no score between Pierre and Spearfish. The 8s are coming to the plates. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the first, and it is a no score between Pierre and the Spearfish on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean, and it is Carter Sanderson that is joining us here in the press box. And Carter, how's it going, man?
I'm great, John. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk a little bit some baseball. We'll talk some hockey. Well, obviously going to talk some hockey too, but real quick, as we're just about set for this bottom of the first inning, how much do you miss playing baseball, especially on a summer day? Maybe you don't miss it so much in the wintertime when you're playing hockey and everything else, but right now, mid-June, how much do you miss playing baseball?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, just coming back home, being home for almost all of June, and then how much River Iverson texts me just saying that he wishes he was I was still on the diamond with his team. But yeah, just driving by, seeing the Zap play, seeing Post 8 play, almost every night here at Hyde Field I'm definitely missing it for sure.
Carter Shufflebein digs in to lead us off here in the bottom of the first inning as the first pitch from Wiesman is popped up on the infield behind home plate, and it will land foul. It was just to the right of the catcher and Brunner, and that will land foul. Would you have had that one? Because you were a catcher when you were posted. Would you have had that one?
I don't know. I might have, but I think the sun got to him a little bit. So
let's see there. I already got the analysis, Blake. He's got the. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be fired, Blake, by any means. But
he's coming for my job. If he wasn't so good at hockey and everything else, he may as well just take over next to you, John.
I mean, well, I don't know, but he's just good at everything that he.
That's true.
That he does.
Seriously,
thanks, guys.
But
we're just pumping your head full of hot air right now.
Great.
1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. The count's now 1-2. So you got home, was it at the very beginning of June, right at the end of May? I can't
Right
remember.
at the end of May, yeah.
Right? And you're kind of nursing some injuries right now. You feeling better than what you, hopefully feeling better than what you were by the end of that Clark Cup championship. This
For
one
sure.
is out towards left center field, jumping and over the head of the left fielder. It goes of Olsen, and Shufflebine will dig his way into second for a leadoff double. And the Eights are in business here in the bottom of the first to bring up Hudson Stosher. So feeling better, though, for Carter Sanderson now.
Yeah, definitely feeling a lot better. I had a dentist appointment last week with Brian Hermanson. Talked about my teeth for a little bit, and so it's always good to go in there and kind of talk to him. You know, guy loves hockey. He's always intrigued as to what I'm doing, how my hockey's going, and we keep in contact. And so going there, and then hands healing up fine. I haven't had any problems with my lower body yet, but my upper body's healing up pretty well.
I was just saying, Blake, would you like to have 4 root canals?
No.
No. I don't think
Does
Carter,
anyone want
I
4
don't
root
think-
canals? I mean, people that probably enjoy pain do.
Here's a ground ball down the third baseline. What a play by the third baseman and Scharf. His throw to first is going to be just in time to get Stosher, as Shufflebine will take third on the throw, but a great play by Jack Scharf to get Stosher for the first out. But it does put Shufflebine only 90 feet away for that game's first run. And I asked that because whenever I talked to Carter a couple weeks ago, or almost 2 months ago now when all that happened, the way he just nonchalantly said, yeah, I had 4 root canals. It was just no big deal to him, as Sunshine will swing and miss for strike one.
Yeah, the bad part about it is I might have to get him redone here.
Oh, no.
Was when I went in, it was 2 days after I'd got him knocked out, and so
This one's going to be out to center field. That one will drop in for a base hit. Shufflebine will jog in, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Eights on a single to right center field for Sutton Sunshine.
Yeah, so when I stepped into the dentist's office 2 days following getting hit and getting 3 of my teeth pushed back and 1 chipped, there was so much swelling up in the upper part of my mouth that when they did the root canals, they couldn't see where everything was, and so they thought that they got them all the way in, but they're still they haven't gone all the way up yet. And so Brian said that he might have to redo them here before I go back, but we'll see. Hopefully not.
I hope that's the life of a hockey player, right?
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1 to Will Eilers. Line shot that is into left field for a base hit. Third hit of the inning for the Eights. His first and second here with only 1 out, and it will bring up now Jackson Goodman with a chance to make it a 2-0 lead. And going back to baseball here real quick for you, Carter, these guys were your teammates growing up. There's a lot of guys on the field that you played, whether you played just one season with or you played multiple seasons with. There's a lot of teammates of yours from back in the day here.
Yeah, I played with, Sutton Shine. I played with Shufflebine here. I played Bridgers in the same grade as me, and so I played with them for a little bit before I played for Post 8. But then when I was my 1 year at Post 8, I played for River. He was the assistant coach then before Brian Waite had left. And so, yeah, I've definitely been around quite a lot of these guys and even been with some of them in the hockey rink instead of just here on the baseball field.
With the ground ball, the second baseman, it will be bobbled by Bauer, the second baseman. His throw to first is not going to be in time. It'll be an E4, and Jackson Goodman is on base, and the bases are loaded now with only 1 out, and it brings up Bridger Babcock with a chance to open things up here early on for Pierre against the Spearfish team.
Yeah, and Carter, your entire high school tenure, you've traveled all over the country, Minnesota, Michigan, played multiple places hockey-wise. You were drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I will say, not a huge follower of hockey, but they are my team, so couldn't have picked a better landing spot for you as far as things go.
Yeah.
This one is popped up to left field. Coming in as the left fielder, and Olsen, he'll make the catch. Is not deep enough for Sunshine to try and score. So there's now 2 down, and it brings up Alec Eilers to the plate.
But I guess question being, over these last 4 years, what's been the most surreal experience for you in terms of everything? Is it meeting Sidney Crosby? Is it, winning the Clark Cup last year?
He's got a gold medal too, by the way.
And a gold medal as well. What's overall over these last 4 years since starting on this journey, what's been the most memorable experience in your estimation?
Yeah, I mean, the last 4 years I've had a lot of experiences that not many kids will be able to experience in their high school journey. Like, I've got 5 different high schools on my high school transcript, and so it's been a whirlwind of the last 4 years, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think, like I said, I've been through a lot of experiences, but I can't really solidify it down to one. I mean, I've learned to be very independent with kind of everything that I've been doing, but I'd say that so far.
It is a 2 RBI single for Alec Eilers in the left center field to make it a 3-0 game. And Aiden Johnson now first pitch swinging. That's down the left field line, and that will one hop to the wall. Another run will come in to score as Alec Eilers will get to third. It's an RBI double for Aiden Johnson. It's a 4-0 lead for the Eights here in the bottom of the first inning. And Carter Sanderson, I don't think he's going to be able to leave and have to come back to every game here right now, because this has been an excellent first inning for the Eights. As Porter Hunsley, the number 9 man, is coming to the plate with runners at second and third, and we'll have a mound visit here for Spearfish. You might be the good luck charm up here in the press box.
Yeah, let's hope it's me, and I can come back to a few more of these. But back to the question from before, I think that kind of me growing independent, kind of living away from my parents for a while, having to adapt to living with other families, like living hundreds and hundreds of miles away from any of my family, just kind of learning all that. And then I'd say the ups and downs between that, like winning a Clark Cup my first year of junior hockey and then going back but losing one this year, and then winning a gold medal in Canada last December. And so I think that there's a whole lot of answers that I could have given for that, but I think that really kind of growing independent and kind of, taking the ropes for myself has kind of been really cool the last 4 years.
And talking here with Carter Sanderson, as he will be heading, he's right now resting, trying to get his body healed up before heading to Pittsburgh. Is it at the end of the month, the beginning of July, for player development camp?
Yeah, I fly out the 27th of June to Pittsburgh, and then I get back the 3rd of July.
Here's a wild pitch that will score Alec Eilers, making a 5-0 game as it counts 2-0 to Porter Hunsley, and now a runner on at third.
Yeah, it's just for a development type thing. We go and do a lot of team building activities and then work out and skate, go through a couple baseline tests. But other than that, it's kind of just for them to get to know me better, go out there before I can hopefully sign a contract with them in the next few years.
So is that with your draft class then, Carter, or is it, people that they're bringing in from not only the draft class but a larger free agent pool?
Yeah, so there's a couple different people who go in there. It's this coming draft class of 2026. It's my draft class of 2025, the draft class of 2024 before me, and then anybody in the Pittsburgh organization who hasn't signed yet.
Okay.
So I guess really anybody from the last 5 years. But then there are a couple guys who signed with the minor league teams that are also coming to this development camp. And then on top of that, there's invites of kids who I guess were on Pittsburgh's radar, but they're not drafted to them.
Got it.
And so it's a wide variety, but it's always a fun time.
This one is popped up on the left side. Will be room over for the third baseman Olsen, and it landed right next to the wall, but he did not make the catch, as it is a 0-1 count here to Carter Schuffelbein after Porter Hunsley drew the walk to make it first and third here with 2 outs. And again, it's a 5-0 lead for Pierre here in the bottom of the first inning as we continue our conversation with Carter Sanderson, who is a Clark Cup champion, a gold medal winner, Pittsburgh Penguins draft prospect. As it counts 1-1 here to Carter Schuffelbein. Did I miss something in there?
No. You're good.
As the count is 1-1, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Should be fouled away. Blake asked you the question, of kind of your best memory and all that stuff, and the best thing about it all. But being to play at Muskegon, and because really, 8th grade year you're playing for Oahe. Then your freshman year you're playing at North Star, and then your sophomore year you're playing with the Sioux Falls Power. As this one's grounded down the third base line, that is fair to score another run to make it 6-0. On his way to third is Porter Hunsley, is just bouncing around out there, and Olsen's having trouble with it. And Schuffelbein will make his way to third. It's going to be a 2 RBI triple for Carter Schuffelbein to make it a 7-0 lead for the Eights here in the bottom of the first inning. Schuffelbein's 2 for 2. He's halfway to the cycle. and we haven't even got to the to this top of the second already. And so both runs score, and it's now going to be Hudson Stosher to the plates with 2 away. And it brings up Stosher, who's 0 for 1, trying to make this an 8-0 ball game here in this first inning as the first pitch is upstairs. But you played in Muskegon your last 2 years. Was it nice to kind of play in one spot for 2 straight years for the first time in a span of 5 years overall?
I'd say for sure. I think that being able to grow my connection with the city, kind of being able to develop more at the junior level, getting the opportunity to play against other drafted prospects, I think that that was the time when I really grew independent. I think that my billet family was great. They gave me all the support that I needed, and then kind of finishing up my high school career. So next year, when I play another year of juniors, I'll be able to kind of really just focus on the hockey aspect of things instead of having to worry about all the other distractions.
As that one was flying down to center, and Darren Crooks dove for it but could not make the catch. So Hudson Stosher's got an RBI single to now make this an 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. An 8-run inning on 7 hits here for Pierre on only 1 error from Spearfish. This has been a great start for the Aids here in this bottom of the first, as Sun and Shine will take high for ball 1. Walker Wiesman, who was their ace coming in, he had an ERA at 4.2, a whip at 1.7, but the batting average against at 3.01, and the Aids have teed off on him here in this first inning as that pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 2-0 here to Sun and Shine. And you even had, it was unlikely, but because of how USHL works, you could have been traded at any point, too. You could have gone to another team in the USHL, unlike, in high school hockey or where you're at the Sioux Falls Power, you would have had to move and go somewhere. Like, you would have chosen to go somewhere else, but USHL, sometimes you don't get to choose where you're going. They might just trade you. So even to be there for 2 full years, while it wasn't, absurd to do that, it was one that one won't get up here to the press box, but it was fouled out of play. But it was one that you could have, at some point, gone to another team on top of it all, right in the middle of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a lot of guys who got traded from our team this year. There was a lot of turnover from August to May. There was probably 15, 20 guys who walked in the room that ended up leaving by the end of the year. But the ownership group really liked me. They believed in me. The coaching staff really liked me and believed in me. And so I think that there wasn't a contract last year, but part of it was kind of a no trade clause, if you would say. Like, it was just kind of an agreement that we had. It wasn't written on paper or anything, but it was kind of just a face-to-face thing saying, like, we love you, like, we want you on our team, so you won't get dealt anywhere else. So that was good. I could just focus on hockey at that point. Didn't have to worry about it.
But that had to make you feel pretty special, too, that they, again, not written down anywhere, but kind of that verbal agreement that, hey, they love you as a person, as a hockey player, and want you to play for the Muskegon Lumberjacks.
Yeah, it's awesome knowing that, for sure.
It is here Will Eilers, the 13th man to come to the plate in this bottom of the first inning. And there's a swing and a miss for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. He is 1 for 1 with a single. So Carter Schuffelbein is 2 for 2. Stosher 1 for 2. Sun and Shine is 2 for 2. Will Eilers, Jackson Goodman, and Bridger Babcock will be looking for their first hits as this one is flown out to center field. That's going to get over the head of the center fielder, Crooks. It just kept carrying, and another 2 runs are going to come in to score. Will Eilers on his way to third. It's a 2 RBI triple, and it's a 10-0 lead here in the bottom of the first for the Aids. Just keep on adding to it here with 2 outs in the inning. And a fantastic start to this ball game for the Aids. And Blake, I don't know if it's been a long time since we've seen a Pierre team hit this well in one particular inning.
Yeah.
A whole game, yes, but a whole particular inning. This is an incredible start to this game.
Yeah, hit parade. It has been an unbelievable start. To your point, only 3 guys, Babcock, Goodman, and Hunsley, are the only guys to not get a hit this inning, as this one's going to be popped foul, and actually overrunning it was the first baseman in Sewell. But 10 runs in an inning, to your point, John, on 9 hits, only 1 error for Spearfish, and still only 2 outs for the Aids. In the high school season, in the Legion season, and you go to the road games, so you see a lot more ball than I do. I don't remember the last time a Pierre team came out of the gates this hot.
I don't know the last time that Carter Sanders was in the press box either, and so the connection Is it a coincidence, or is it just a fact?
I think I'll come back next time.
There we go.
There you go.
Monday, another game on Monday.
There you go.
So until they don't score 10 runs in that first inning, you got to keep coming back. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman. That's going to bounce away from the third baseman. It's a fair ball, and it's going to give up another run to score. Make it an 11-0 game. Is that a hit or an error there, Blake? That one's kind of tough down the line, and it bounced away from the third baseman. I think you almost got to make it a hit for Jackson Goodman, and it is going to be an RBI for him. So now he's 1 for 2, and we will have a pitching change with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. We'll keep it here and keep talking with Carter Sanderson. So, Carter, is there is there something that you would like to share about the next step of your journey and going to a camp of some kind here this summer? You don't have to. I kind of probably
I'd like to bring it up.
I probably should have asked you in the commercial break, but
no, good.
We haven't had a chance to go to a commercial.
So go ahead. Tell us this camp that you're going to be going to.
Yeah, so we talked about a little bit about next season, like not for sure what's going to happen there. I've got some things to think about on that point, and then I'll be going to Pittsburgh here at the end of the month, like we talked about. But then yesterday I got a phone call. I got an invite to go to the World Junior camp, which is the best U20 USA team in the country. You go over Christmas break usually. It's in December, early January, and you go play teams like Canada, Latvia, Czechia, the Slovaks, like all the European teams, and they all come to a tournament. This next year it'll be in Edmonton. But yesterday I got the invite to go to the camp or the tryout, and so it'll be 24 2007 and 2008 forwards, and then 12D and 5 goalies. So it'll be a big camp. It'll be 2 teams, but super honored. I think that winning a gold medal last year, wearing the USA crest was, especially as a captain there, I think was a great honor, and I'd be glad to do it again. So I'm super excited for that.
And this is the when you talk about the World Juniors, if you ever just happen to catch those games on the NHL Network and see those, that's the games that those are the World Junior games that Carter was just talking about. So this, that's the top tier tournament for U20 guys to go play for. You had a couple teammates play there last year at the World Juniors from the Muskegon Lumberjacks, and they're also NHL draft picks or draft prospects. So there's a lot of success that comes through those World Junior tournaments. As pitcher Babcock will take ball 1 to the new pitcher in Carson Wood, who is in place of Walker Wiesman with 2 outs and a runner at first, with a 11-0 lead here for Pierre in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Babcock, and that is outside, and the count's 2-0. He flew out to left in his first at-bat. So just he and Porter Hunsley, the only guys that have not reached base or not got a base hits in this game so far. And Hunsley drew a walk. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. That will skip away, and it will get somewhat into right field. Jackson Goodman will take off for third. He will get there, and unfortunately for Babcock, he's still without a hit in this first inning, but he will continue the inning. It is going to be an air charge to the to the second baseman, and it's first and third with 2 away to bring up now Alec Eilers at a 2 RBI single back with 2 outs in this first inning. What's your thoughts on this first inning here, Carter?
I think this is awesome. I haven't been to a baseball game. I don't even know if I went to a baseball game last summer. I might have, but it's my first baseball game in a while, and so to see this, some of my friends out there really putting up numbers is awesome to see. It's fun.
Here's the line shot to left field. That will be caught by the left fielder in Olsen to make the catch and end the inning here in the bottom of the first, but it is an 11-run inning on 10 hits and 2 errors, and then 2 men left on base. Let's take a break. It is 11-0 for Pierre over Spearfish after 1. Back here in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health and your time matter to us. Our team takes pride in providing personal, professional care, from filling your prescriptions quickly to answering your questions every step of the way. Need a little extra convenience? We offer free delivery right to your home or office. Because at Shane's Pharmacy, you're our family, friends, and neighbors, and we're honored to care for you. Shane's Pharmacy. Feel better for less and stay well with us. Call 605-223-9200 or stop by in Fort Pierre. Shane's Pharmacy. Proud to support our local high school athletes.
As we welcome you back, it is a 11-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. For Pierre going into just the top of the second. And it is John Wickler alongside Blake Dean, Carter Sanderson joining us here. It is going to be 5, 6, and 7. And before we get back to talking with Carter Sanderson, Blake, how important is this top of the second here for Will Danberg? You're going, yes, an 11-0 lead, so you've got a lot of room to wiggle room right now. But the long inning, how good everybody played in that first inning and everybody hit, how important it is for Danberg to not let that first inning go to waste by giving up a couple runs.
Yeah, it's huge because, when you're a pitcher, you really want to be in the flow of the ball game. And for Will, having basically sitting on the bench for probably at least a half hour, maybe longer, not getting, normally you're on the mound, off the mound relatively quickly. And so, he's been a little bit cold maybe on the bench after Pierre gets 11 runs on 10 hits after that, after the bottom of the first. So be interesting to see how he responds. Hopefully Coach Iverson got him up going into the bullpen to at least stay a little bit loose rather than to come out on the mound relatively cold, as his first couple of pitches are balls in the dirt, trying to refine the zone here as he's able to get a foul ball off the bat of Scharf here to make it a 2-1 count.
Jack Scharf, Sean Sewell, and Cooper Chase, 5, 6, and 7 for Spearfish here in the top of the second, as Danberg will deliver the 2-1 pitch here to Scharf. That'll miss low, and the count's 3-1. So, Carter, you mentioned, too, that, you don't know exactly how things are going to look going into next year. You obviously go to that camp. You're going to the development camp in Pittsburgh. How much, does it weigh on you, or maybe it's kind of a relief to just kind of, come back here and not necessarily worry about a lot of things right now? How nice is it to be back for a month and just kind of, the future is kind of up in the air. You obviously are going to play hockey next year no matter what, but just where it's going to be at. How nice it, though, is it to come here and just kind of relax, kind of hang out, see some old friends, and be able to just kind of be Carter Sanderson, the kid from Pierre, for at least a month?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I got back the end of May, and I've been here ever since. And so, I guess I took a trip out to Wyoming, kind of just to get away for a little bit. But yeah, I think that getting back initially, I wasn't super worried about next year, what the future brought. But now that I'm kind of nearing the point where I'm getting to Pittsburgh, I kind of want to have an answer as to where I'm going to play. And so I think that when people are going to ask in Pittsburgh and kind of want to know what my plans are, I'll want to have a solidified answer. But so far, being able to just be home and kind of relax for a little bit before I hit it hard again has been important. I think that it's a huge, 1, physical reset, but then 2, mental reset, just kind of being able to get away from the game for a little bit and kind of take some time to reevaluate and kind of just focus on summer, like you said, being the kid from Pierre. But it's been good.
Well, and to that point, Carter, the other thing I was going to ask you was, over the last 4 years, obviously, travel hockey, you've had a lot of relationships in that realm of your world. How much contact have you had with some of your classmates, some of your friends from back here? Obviously, you're coming back here relatively regularly, as much as possible. But how much contact have you had with your classmates, your friends back home here?
Honestly, I want to say I've had more contact with I wouldn't say older people, but I'd say adults, like
Sure.
I've been talking to John, I've been talking to Landon Badger, like Talon, Jaden Grease, like just people that were in my hockey realm and just talking with them. But I think that I've been keeping close contact with like Ashton Grease, Jaron Beck, just people that I kind of grew up playing hockey with. And then some of my classmates too, like when I come back home and I see them around, like I'll say hi. But I haven't kept as good a contact as I probably could have been. But it's been good. Seeing some people over the summer, kind of seeing people who I haven't seen for a while. So it's been good.
It was a ground ball to the first baseman, Bridger Babcock, who will pick it up and put the tag on for the first out, although now they're going to talk about something. I didn't think that there was any chance that it went off the batter at all. It looked like it went right off the end of the bat. But they will discuss as there is a runner on at second with one out, as assuming that there is just that runner on at second with one out, or this play stands. And
nope, they're gonna say that it was a foul ball.
okay, so it is just a foul ball. So there is, I believe would be a 3-2 count.
He said 3-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got better. Well, yeah, you do have better eyes. There was no question about that.
Again, that's not a very high bar.
Yeah, that bar is as low as it can possibly be. But it is a 3-2 count here with nobody out in this top of the second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a check swing, and we're going to have the exact same play happen, other than Babcock's going to take the ball to the bag this time instead of putting the tag down. So all it was just one extra pitch from Will Danberg. And it's still, like, I had 3U written in my scorebook, and the guy going to second, nothing had to change for him.
Don't need white out.
Didn't need to have to worry about any of that at all. So there's a runner on second with one out here in the top of the second inning. As it is Cooper Chase, the right fielder, that will come to the plate. Runner in scoring position. Leadoff walk by Danberg. It's a leadoff single for Darren Crooks in the top of the first. Then the walk here. So the leadoff man's been on base twice. And Danberg's trying to work around both of these leadoff men being on base, as it counts 1-0 here to Cooper Chase. Had the question for Carter Sanderson. Now I remember it. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Danberg. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-1. You get a chance to play some huff and puff up at the Ice Barn when you come back. And, obviously, Carter Sanderson playing huff and puff is not Carter Sanderson playing for the Muskegon Lumberjacks. You have a lot of fun getting to go there. But what we've talked about it before, as that one will miss low to make it 2-1. How much fun is it to go there and play with some guys that you played with, play with the coaches that coached you for so many years, and being able just to be on the ice with the people back here in Pierre? How much fun is that?
It's super fun. Like you said, it's not me going there to like train or like work on my skill set or get better or anything like that. No offense to anybody that's up there, but
Brian Hermanson taking huge offense to it right now.
No, but that's just me going up there, really wanting to kind of be around the people that I grew up with, the people who kind of helped me get to the point that I am when I was in 8th grade. Just kind of interact with people around the community. Like, there's people there who I didn't know before going up there, and so going up there with Ken Johnson's up there, or Ken Brown's up there, sorry. Just a lot of my buddies go up there when I'm back in town, who are back for college or back from college, and so being able to go up there, interact with them, and I don't think I've shot a puck in the last 2 weeks that I've been there, but it's just fun to go up there and kind of interact with them.
One out walk here to Cooper Chase. So Bray Bauer, the second baseman, now will come up with first and second, and one down here in the top of the second. So has there ever been a time where, and I'm going to pick on Brian Hermanson, that you wanted to shoot the puck really hard, or did Brian Hermanson ever say, I want you to go 100% at one point and just take a shot on me from the blue line or something like that, just so he can say he tried to make a save on you when he was playing goalie?
I wouldn't say there's ever a time that he asks for me to do that, but there are times if I do shoot on him and he stops it, he'll let you know. He'll let me know, and he'll make sure that everybody else in the community knows too. I think that Yeah, what were you saying before? I think that...
No, just with Brian Hermanson.
Yeah, I think... No, I just... Brian's great. I mean, the last 2 weeks he's been playing player, but when he is goalie, I think that, it's fun, and hopefully to score on him every time, but, give him some confidence that he can... Brian likes talking smack, and so when he tries to do that, get you off your game, and... doesn't really work out, but
he usually sends something in a group message that he made a save on you on that one.
Yeah.
But it's never plural. It's just one.
Yeah,
he never says saves. It's just one save.
Yeah, no, he always brags about it whenever he does, and so that's great though. I mean, I've always enjoyed being around Brian. He's a great guy, and so it's all fun and games.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, talking with Carter Sanderson, and we do love Brian Hermanson. I give him a hard time, but
we do.
He's been very beneficial for the Hawaii hockey community for so many years. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Will Danberg to Bray Bauer. That'll miss low, and the count's full at 3-2 here with first and second and one away.
And Carter, here's another question that I had for you. Who was in your year playing for Oahe? Who was your head coach there?
Steve Steele.
I thought it was Steele, but I wasn't gonna come out and say that.
Yeah, because I had the trivia question that as a 3-2
You
pitch that was fouled away. That there's one coach that has been able to coach at the varsity level 2 different draft picks, especially over the last 5 years, and obviously being Gray Zabel drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, and then Brian White's the other coach because he coached Zabel here for Post State, and then obviously got to coach you too. So you had two of your guys, 2 of your head coaches got to coach both Gray Zabel and you to be drafted. Here's a ground ball to third baseman Goodman. He'll step on the bag at third. His throw to first is wide of the bag, but Richard Babcock comes off, catches the ball, makes the tag. It's a 5-3 double play, and that will take care of the top of the second. Good double play turn by the Eights. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It is a 11-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. When your tank's running low and your stomach is growling, there's one place Pierre trusts, DJ Senex. Feel up fast, grab ice-cold drinks, selection of fresh donuts, and that perfect cup of coffee to keep you moving. Friendly faces, quick stops, and everything you need right when you need it. So next time you're on the go, make the easy stop. DJ Senex. Fueled by community, driven by you.
For years, you have trusted Larry Fry Heating and Cooling to keep your home comfortable, no matter the season. Now that same commitment to quality service and expert care has a new name. Introducing Kruger Climate Systems. We're familiar faces, the reliable technicians, and the same dedication you've always known, now under a new banner. From essential repairs and routine maintenance to brand new installations, we're here to ensure your home's perfect temperature. Kruger Climate Systems, your trusted partner for a comfortable home. Call us today for all your heating and cooling needs.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the second, and it is a 5-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. 11-0 lead. I don't know if I said 5-0. It was 11-0 lead for Pierre going to the bottom of the second. It will be 8-9-1. And by the way, that's 8-9-1 the second time through the order, not so much the first time through the order, as we have Aiden Johnson lead us off at an RBI double in his first trip to the plates. Here's the first pitch to him, a swing and a miss for strike one. Carter Sanderson joins us. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean here in the bottom of the second. An 11-run first inning, and Sanderson is no longer allowed to not be here, at least in the bottom of the first. So this one will be cued off the end of the bats.
So we're going to keep him
It's
through.
going to be, obviously we're going to have to make him come back on Monday, but when that continues to happen every doubleheader, it's going to be an awkward conversation to have that I have to make with Pittsburgh Penguins, saying that he's not allowed to be at the, I guess maybe an awkward conversation with him and his parents too, to say he can't go to Pittsburgh because he's going to come to the Heights Stadium. Here's a fly ball that will drop in, a little bloop single for Aiden Johnson in left center field. He's 2 for 2, and the hits continue for the Eights. Their 11th hit of the ball game. Leadoff single for Aiden Johnson, and brings up now Porter Hunsley.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how you say that because, I knew I was going to be home for all of June, and I didn't know exactly when Dev Camp in Pittsburgh was going to be. I didn't have any it's always kind of been my dream to play for the World Junior team, but I didn't have any idea that I was going to be invited to try out. And so I was actually thinking on my drive back from Muskegon, I was like, I could probably play baseball all of June, but I mean, I'm sure Pittsburgh, my agent, anybody who I play for next year wouldn't really like that, and so figured I probably shouldn't do it. But yes, I definitely do miss it.
Porter Hunsley will foul that one back for strike one. The fun thing that's for me, and I will say and for me being able to watch you play for the Hawaii Capitals for a year and then play post-state baseball for a season as well, and that was, it's a lot of fun to watch you play as well as you did. Here's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit, and Porter Hunsley's got a single, and he is now 1 for 1, and his first and second here with nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. But it's kind of hard to remember that you're just going to be a freshman in college right now.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing is that you haven't played here in Pierre for the Capitals or for Post State since your 8th grade year, and now you're just going to be a college freshman. And, of course, I know that I've tried to do the good job of talking about it back in the day, but for those, this isn't hockey's a little bit different, where you're drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins and they retain your rights even though you're playing for Muskegon, whether no matter what your next step is past Muskegon, you don't have to go to the AHL affiliate of the Pittsburgh Penguins. As here's a shuffle behind, a hard ground ball over to the third baseman, off of the third baseman Sharp. It'll be an error, and it's now going to be bases loaded here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. And it brings up Hudson Stosher, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. So regardless of what your next step is, what you end up doing, that Pittsburgh still owns. Baseball is probably the only other one where if you can get drafted out of high school, but once you decide to go to college you can either go to college and they lose your rights, or you go play for them and you don't go to college. Hockey is just a little bit different, and it's kind of, probably for you too, make you feel a little bit more freedom of being able to do all those things and not just say, holy cow, I got to go to the show right now and I got to be playing AHL hockey. Like, you still get a chance to play very high-level hockey, but still continue to develop over the next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Like you were saying, I haven't, played a sport in Pierre. I was in 8th grade when I played high school hockey here, and then I was a freshman going on sophomore when I played baseball for Post State here. And so I guess it's been a while since I've been here, but like you were talking about, just them retaining my rights and hopefully signing a contract here in the next 3-4 years. It's unlike any other sport, and so I feel I just like being a part of that, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
By the way, that was sac fly for Hudson Stosher. Johnson comes in to score. There's one out and runners at first and second here with one away in the bottom of the second. A 12-0 lead now here for Post State in the bottom of the second. 11-run first inning. And now a run here in the second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. How much can you keep up with like professional sports other than, obviously you probably keep up with the NHL a little bit by just kind of maybe just being around hockey, but do you keep up with Major League Baseball or keep up with baseball or any other sport as the season goes along, or is it maybe just you're watching football on Sundays and getting ready to go for hockey, and that's about the only sport you can pay attention to?
Yeah, I think obviously I watch a lot of NHL hockey, even college hockey throughout the winter and those seasons. But yeah, I watch a lot of football. We've got a lot of I've got a competitive fantasy football league from all my buddies back here in Pierre that's been going on for a number of years now, maybe 5. But I think I do watch a little bit of baseball, but I don't keep up with it much. I mean, there's 162 games in the season, which is incredible. But I think that's about the extent of it. No basketball for me. I didn't watch a minute of the finals, but I know that's going to hurt Dean over here, but I don't know. That's about all.
I'm not really that torn up about it because I didn't play basketball in high school, so.
Will Eilers to the play. That's a fly out to left to Tucker Olson. So there's now 2 down, runners at first and second. Eilers is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. He's also halfway to the cycle with a single and a triple as that first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Shufflebine trying to get the cycle hurt him a little bit with that leadoff or at that error that put him at first. He was trying for a double or a single or a home run. That was a line shot into left field for a base hit. They're going to round Hunsley from third. The throw will be coming in, and he is going to stand up. It's an RBI single for Will Eilers. He's 3 for 3 with an RBI, and it's now a 13-0 lead here for the Eights in the bottom of the second inning. Another 2 runs have scored here for the Eights in this inning. And so now it brings up Jackson Goodman, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Got to make you feel like you want to grab a bat and start to go play for Post 8 right now.
This is fun to watch.
It's been a hit parade for Post 8.
For sure.
Yeah, 13 hits, 13 runs. 8 of the starting 9 for the Eights have gotten a hit so far in the ball game.
That pitch is outside, and the count's now 2-0. And by the way, with the 13-0 lead, we still got to go through 5 innings. It is just a 10-run rule after 5, so the Eights can keep adding on to the runs, but the Spearfish will have at least another 9 outs to try and get back within 10, and the Eights will still have another 2 innings after this one to add more runs on to the ball game. But it is a 3-0 count here to Jackson Goodman, who is 1 for 2, singled with an RBI, also had an error in the bottom of the first inning, both of those times at the plate. And that will be ball 4 to be a 4-pitch walk. And this will be the 8th man to come to the plate, and Bridger Babcock, who's looking for his first hit, with now the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. So you've traveled a lot. It was in Canada, wasn't it, where where you won the gold medal? Did you guys play up in Canada?
Quebec, yep.
So where's what's been kind of the best place you've been able to visit? And maybe some of the places you've been able, you haven't been able to really get a chance to see the town so much. You've been there, played hockey, and left. But maybe what's your favorite place to go and visit so far?
Yeah, that's a good question. Selfishly, I want to say Sioux Falls when we come here, but there's a lot of in our league. It's a lot of the towns are pretty similar. Like you're just downtown. You don't unless you get an Uber to go somewhere else, but you're just kind of downtown where your hotel is, and then you go to the rink, and then you go back to the hotel. And so I'd say a lot of the places in the USHL I haven't visited a whole lot. I think when I was in Quebec, that was an awesome experience, and I don't know if I can say one solid answer, but I think that once I get to the point where I can go overseas to play, kind of do stuff like that, it'll probably be one of those countries or cities, whatever you categorize that in. But I think that so far, I don't really have an answer for that.
So here's my question about Quebec. Were you in Montreal?
No.
Okay.
It was. We flew out of Montreal, but we didn't. Hockey wasn't in Montreal. It was in Trois-Rivières.
Okay.
It was 2 hours, hour and a half-ish from Montreal.
Okay.
My parents were up there, and they went to Montreal and Quebec City, and they said it was awesome during the wintertime, but cool. I didn't get to go out and explore that at all.
Shoot, that was going to be my next follow-up question. If you did, was how much French speaking is there actually in Quebec as opposed to the rest of Canada?
No, yeah, it was all French when I was there, but I guess I've been to Calgary before. I've been to Toronto, and it's nowhere near as much French as what there is in Quebec. So yeah.
It is a 3-run inning on 3 hits, as well as also a air charge to Spearfish, and 3 men left on base as the Bridger Babcock drew a bases-loaded walk, and then Alec Eilers flew out to center field. So it is 14-0 at the end of 2 innings. We'll keep it here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports as we are talking with Carter Sanderson. And that was another question, too, is for Carter, that being able to, I guess, did you get a chance to kind of maybe eat some food that was unique to those places? Maybe not. Obviously, maybe in Quebec you're able to. So then what was the best food that you got to eat over the course of the last couple of years in the USHL, or in general whenever you're playing any hockey anywhere in the world?
I think when we went to Quebec, I had some poutine. That was pretty good.
I was just going to say poutine, yeah.
That was a standout answer, but then I think there was a restaurant that we went to in Green Bay last year, my first year in the USHL, and we got to grill your own steaks right there at the restaurant. So that was kind of cool.
Wow.
A lot of my teammates were like city guys though, and they don't do a lot of cooking for themselves, and so some of theirs didn't turn out how they wanted to eat them. But I helped them out, and some other guys did too. But I think those two are good answers.
And that also brings me into, saying some of those guys are city guys, but you've got to play with guys from other countries, and maybe they spoke really well English, maybe they didn't speak a lot of English, going in. How easy is it to communicate with some of those guys? And obviously hockey probably turns into some universal language of some things that you don't have to worry about speaking any kind of language. You're going to know what you're meaning by some of those things. But how much fun is it to kind of learn different cultures from different guys, but being able to communicate with some of those guys that are coming from all over the world?
Yeah, they come overseas, and some of them have okay English. Like, none of it is great by no means, but some of it is okay, and some of it is awful. Like, they don't have it at all. Like, there was a Russian that was on our team last year, and all he knew, like, all he could say was the things that he probably shouldn't know. Just to put it a fair way.
I mean, that's everybody learn a foreign language
exactly.
of some kind.
Exactly.
You know those words first.
Yep. And so that was okay. But then, like, this year we had 3 Swedes on our team and a Slovak, and they were all actually pretty good in English. Like, obviously it's not their first language, but 2 or 3 of them could speak, like 4 or 5 different languages in total. So I think that's kind of another cool piece to see, like seeing some of their cultures, like what they like to do, what they even just talking to them one-on-one and seeing what their life is like back home is super cool to see. I think that I've grown relationships from guys that have come from overseas, and so I think I'll keep relationships with them for a while, which is good.
First man, it was Tucker Wiesman. He's hit by the pitch, so it's back to the top of the order for the first time around for Spearfish. Darren Crooks, who led off the top of the first with a base hit, he's down the count 1-2 with a runner on at first. Nobody out here in the top of the third of this 14-0 lead here for Pierre over Spearfish. And the Eights with that 14-run lead. Again, they've got some wiggle room right now. This one will get to the backstop, and it will get to the runner to second. And they have to get through the top of the fifth, but right now they've got the opportunity to get a 10-run rule win in this first game against Spearfish, and put an opportunity to try and sweep post 164 in game 2. But they obviously again still have to get the next 9 outs and not allow at least 5 runs as it stands right now. There's a swing and a miss for a strikeout of Darren Crooks, and that is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Will Danberg, and 1 down here in this top of the third. And again, Carter Sanderson joining us here in the press box at Hyatt Stadium. And like you said, you're going to be heading here to Pittsburgh. So what's kind of the rest of the time here in Pierre like, of being able to kind of hang out and just be a kid for a little bit? What's kind of the agenda the rest of the time that you're here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think golf some. I'm in the Tyler Wilcox golf tournaments now, so that'll be fun. Obviously, being able to spend as much time on the river as I can when I'm back home. That's people kind of take that for granted when they're living here, and then they don't have that aspect when you're living away from home. And so I think that's one of the awesome pieces about living here. And then obviously hang out with all my buddies that are around. Oahe Days is this weekend. I don't know if I'll go down there or not, but maybe do some of that. And then it's always good just to spend some time at home because I'm not there very much. But, yeah, it's about the extent of it.
Chopper to short on a 2-hop to Carter Sanderson, or makes Carter Shufflebine, and there's now 2 down. Carter Sanderson would have made that play too, but Shufflebine made it look really easy as well. And there's 2 away, and it brings up Tucker Olson, the left fielder, who is 0-for-1 with a strikeout looking.
That leads me to another question to your speaking here, John. If you put yourself out there right now, Carter, how do you think it would be like riding a bike as far as things go, or how long do you think it would take you to feel relatively comfortable picking up a bat and a glove as opposed to a stick and a glove?
I feel like I'd be a little bit rusty. I feel like my defense would probably be a little bit better than my batting would be. My fielding would definitely be better than my batting, actually. Not very often, but my billet brother in Muskegon played baseball for a bit, and so he would sometimes want to go and throw the ball around. But then we've also got a batting cage in our gym in Muskegon, and so some guys would hop in there. I wouldn't do it a whole lot, but I think that it wouldn't be easy, but I think that if I spent some time at practice, it'd be good.
I think the probably the right answer for him, but I would say he'd probably step back on the field and be pretty comfortable right away. I think that he'd be able to get a couple hits in that first game. He had the smart answer, the correct answer for him, but watching him play sports for so long, I think he could probably step in and not miss a beat.
Yeah, I hope not. Get me talking about it. I kind of miss it, but yeah, no, it's fun.
Well, and
Always
of course,
enjoy it.
being here too. I mean, when you're watching a game in person as opposed to on TV or whatever, you get the itch a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Runners at first and second after the walk to Tucker Olson. There's a swing and a miss by Owen Brunner. Maybe we'll get you a jersey and get you on the line. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need to get anybody in trouble. But
that's going to make. I was going to say that's going to make Coach Riv real excited. I think.
Yeah, he's been texting me saying that he misses coaching me. But
here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. He was talking to me about you the other weekend or last week, and saying that whenever you're going to go that next step in hockey, and he told me, he's like, boy, he was such a good baseball player, and I mean, he would be fantastic right now. Here's a swing and a miss, and that will get away from sun and shine. So it'll be a drop third strikeout of Brunner, but it will be continuing the inning to get to Jack Scharf with now the bases loaded and 2 outs. So that would be the 4th strikeout, but the inning will continue. And he was talking about it. He goes, boy, it's just, in hockey, you've never seen it. You've never seen a guy get drafted from South Dakota in the NHL. You've never seen all this stuff. So for him to go do that, that's going to be really tough. And then lo and behold, a couple of years later, he did everything that I said it was going to be hard for him to do, and now he definitely made the right decision by not playing for Post State and not continuing a baseball career, by continuing the hockey career. All of that, he goes, well, boy, I wish we had him on this team right now. And I think, again, that's, for some, I think people kind of forget that you'd be playing baseball right now, and all of this, if you never got anywhere else, you'd be playing for Post State baseball, because while you've been gone for a while for the last couple of years playing at a high level of hockey, that he'd be right here at Post State here today. Here's a ground ball to the left side, and Carter Shufflebein will take the easy way to throw to third to get the final out, and that's a rare 6-5 ground out to get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. It is a 14-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Has life lent a dent in your ride? Or maybe you're dreaming of a fresh start for your classic? At Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, we bring vehicles back to life. Located right here in Fort Pierre with over 25 years experience, we specialize in expert auto body repair. Minor dings to major collision work. Got a boat or RV with fiberglass damage? We handle that too. And for projects needing a complete refresh, our professional sandblasting service preps anything ready for a perfect finish. For quality work you can trust, Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, 605-280-4451, 310 West Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the third, and it is a 14-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard for Pierre over Spearfish. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean, Carter Sanderson joining us as you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. It is 8-9-1 again here in the third inning, but this is the third time through the order for the Eights. And they are holding that 14-0 lead. They're now 6 outs away from putting an end to Game 1, and with just a 10-run rule after 5. As, again, also remind you, too, after we're done with our first game, we'll still have the somewhat of the normal routine of between games here on KCCR, but then we'll also have the Hometown Hero presentation that'll be coming up. We'll have that here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, as Aiden Johnson will take high for ball one. And again, Carter Sanderson here in the press box with us. So as the 1-0 pitch is fouled away by Johnson, the count's now 1-1, and been the good luck charm, 14 runs in 2 innings. And you can't say, it seems like that always happens in hockey, watching an NHL game and somebody comes in the press box and does like an interview during the middle of the game. Yeah. One way or the other, the team scores or they get scored on, and basically get told that you're never leaving or to get out right away. So thankfully it went the good way, so we didn't tell you to get out right away.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it went that way too.
14 runs on 13 hits so far for the Eights. There's been 3 Spearfish errors, 1 run, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. As Aiden Johnson will sky this out to left field, backing up as a left fielder, Olsen to make the catch. And there is 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it will bring up now Porter Hunsley, and that's the first time that Aiden Johnson has been retired. So far, we've got Carter Shufflebein 2 for 3. Hudson Stosier's 1 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. He's got 2 RBIs. Shufflebein's got 2 RBIs. Sun and Shine's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Will Eilers is 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, as Porter Hunsley will take low for ball 1. Jackson Goodman's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Alec Eilers 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Aiden Johnson 2 for 3 with an RBI. And Porter Hunsley is 1 for 1, also walking in his first time to the plate, as that one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. So we got to get Bridger Babcock, who does have an RBI, but he is 0 for 2 right now. We got to get Bridger Babcock in the hit column before the end of I guess by the end of the 4th inning for sure, as that one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. I should find. We'll go back, and I think I was part of the Game Changer staff, so we can go look and see what Carter Sanderson's numbers were at his one season for Post State. And you said, what year was it that you played for?
It would have been 2020, 22, 23.
22.
That summer. It would have been the summer of 23.
Let's see here. See if we can find.
Well, and while you're looking for that, John, as Hunsley lines one excellent snare made by the Spearfish shortstop, and of course the Game Changer's not loading, so I don't know who that is. Wiesman.
Yeah, Tucker Wiesman.
Tucker Wiesman. Yep. Great play for out number 2. But while you're looking that up, to throw another question your way, Carter.
Yep.
You obviously big-time hockey player. You played baseball here. We've talked about it. Has there been any benefit in your estimation playing baseball growing up that's really helped you in the hockey world, and has there been any translation and or benefit to playing multiple sports?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I've always told, like, if kids ask me anything, like, would you still play another sport if you could? I would be like, yeah, I think it takes your mind off of everything to do with hockey. And so being able to kind of get your mind off of that, like play a totally different sport, and like you said, like you kind of work different pieces of your body in baseball than hockey, which is good to kind of take the mental strain off your legs, and so that's good.
Carter Shufflebein lines out to center. So 1-2-3 inning for Carson Wood. So we head to the top of the 4th here with a 14-0 lead over Spearfish. We'll keep it here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Carter Sanderson back in the summer of 2023. Any guesses and any bets from Blake Dean on what his numbers were?
Can I guess too?
I was going to say I'm going to let him guess and then base my guess off of his guess.
So I'll have you guess, Carter, and then you'll say higher or lower for his numbers. So,
okay.
So first off is the average. What do you think your average was?
Oh, God. 320.
Higher or lower?
I'm going to go higher.
Go higher, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to forget all those answers. It was a little lower. It was 305.
305.
So still really good.
Okay.
We'll go. I'll tell you the OPS and all that stuff here a little bit. How many hits do you think you had?
Oh, God. How many games did I play?
That was my question.
You played in 34 games, and I'm not going to give you the math on how many at-bats, because if you're wicked smart at math, you're going to be able to get that pretty quick with your average.
Where were you hitting in the batting order normally?
Like 4, like 5.
Okay.
That could be. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5.
How many hits? I don't even know.
Average about 4
50
at bats a game.
50 hits.
Not quite. 45.
I'm gonna go lower, like
45,
40.
45. You're gonna go lower.
Or like
Yeah,
41.
44.
You're at 41, so it's 32. But
Wow.
that was also
Sucked.
4th on the team. Matt Hansen at 52 that year. Jet Zabel 36. Johnny Lyons 33, and Carter had 32.
And then what? Ridge.
And then Rich
Yeah.
had 30. Yep. So he had 5 different guys that had 30 plus
myself.
hits. So now how many doubles do you think you had out of those 32 hits? How many doubles do you think you had?
Maybe a third of them, actually.
So
8, maybe.
8? Higher or lower?
8. If he gets it on the nose, can I say like even or something?
Sure.
Okay. I'll say 8. Eight's good.
It was just a tad lower at 6, but
Okay.
still really good. How many triples do you remember?
Like 2, 1, 2, maybe.
Which one are you gonna go with?
2.
1 or 2? Okay.
I'm gonna say lower just so we can cover our bases and say 1.
So if there's a little bell, I'd tap the bell. He had 2 triples.
All right, there
You
you
were
go.
right.
Oh, I remember one though. It was an error, I guess. We played post 22 and we beat them, and we were tied. Like we were winning like 8-2, and then they came back and tied it up, and then bases were loaded, and I hit like a line drive and it went right through the center fielder's legs out to the fence, and we scored 3 runs, and I got on third base, but that was an error.
So you think that was
So
one of your triples?
No, I think it.
You could have had a
I don't
third
know.
triple.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. Got it.
Let's see here if I can find when your triples were on top of it all. Let's see here.
No,
Aren't you gonna have to go look at every individual game?
Well, you can just click on his.
Oh, okay.
Nope, they wouldn't have. They didn't count that as a triple on either side. There's a
Aberdeen and something
strikeouts.
else.
You had against Sioux Falls West, and then against Aberdeen had the triple. Look at
Wow,
that.
he remembers Aberdeen.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There's
In
another-
Aberdeen or here?
Yeah, it was there.
Was it? Okay.
That could be. I'm
It
not.
was there, yeah.
I guess I could look at that too. RBIs. How many RBIs do you think you had?
20, maybe ish. How are
Yeah,
you?
let's do 20.
20. So he actually higher than 20. So Carter had 23 RBIs during the summer season of 23. As he's got to have other conversations.
Oh,
going on.
absolutely.
But
He's a hot commodity.
You had 23 RBIs during that summer.
Really?
And
More than
so-
I could have anticipated.
So that was second.
Well, if you were hitting 4th or 5th, then that would make a lot of sense.
What was that on the team?
That
Fifth?
was second on the team. Johnny
Oh,
Lyons
there
had
you go.
27. You had 23.
Okay.
So
the 2 middle of the order guys, that would make sense.
that was kind of fun to play that game.
It was fun. Tell me my OBS now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
Blake, do you
We're
want
getting advanced stats. I love this.
You can take a guess if you want.
No, I.
Blake, if you want to take a guess, because
Okay.
you're the stat nerd here.
Okay.
You might have a good shot here. So he had a 305 batting average. That's
Right.
the only thing we're going to tell you to try and get the OPS.
With the slug, if he
And he
had
had 6 doubles and 2 triples.
32 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, that would probably put you at a slug.
I swear, if you started getting these rights,
I'm going to try to be relatively close. I'm not a math nerd by any means. Let's say 743.
higher or lower, Carter.
Give myself the longer end of the stick. Higher.
Here's a ground ball to the left side. This will be fielded by Jackson Goodman. His throw to first is going to be in time, and there's now 2 down. Blake was pretty close.
I have no idea what it is.
But Carter is right with it being higher. 780
Yes.
was the
Okay.
OPS. The slugging was at 400. And so that's a fun game.
Yeah.
That was great.
Now, you also, did you pitch at all? You did pitch.
It probably wasn't good.
Well,
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
I will say.
How many innings did he pitch? Or are we playing this game still?
Maybe.
Oh,
10.
okay. They had that something messed up there. The first, not sure exactly why. It says you had 1 inning pitch, but then you go to your stats and you end up having 4 innings pitch.
I feel like I had more than that too.
So I'm gonna go with the. Do I have the? No, I don't have any of the filters on. Here's the ground ball to the left side for a base hit for Ray Bauer, and the second hit now for post 164. So he threw in 3 games.
And how many?
3.
3 games, 4 innings overall. You had one start. You actually started against post 307, so against Runner. Any guesses on what your ERA was? And again, only 4 innings, so like it's got to like you almost pretty much have to have 0 or a higher number because
Right.
just
It was probably higher.
only 4 numbers or 4 innings. Here's a fly ball to left field. Carter Shufflebein going back. He'll make the catch in front of Aiden Johnson, and that will take care of the top of the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We'll keep it here as we go to the bottom of the 4th as we're playing the guessing game here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. So what do you think the ERA was?
I have no idea.
Do you remember pitching at all? Or is that, do you kind of
I
block
pitched
track?
we played a tournament in Minneapolis. I remember pitching there.
You did throw
In
a
the
game.
Gopher Classic,
Yeah, in the
probably.
Gopher Classic, yep.
Oh,
Blake, any guesses on
God.
what his ERA
yeah,
might
Blake,
be?
you guess.
How many runs do you think you allowed?
In 4 innings?
Yeah.
10? Higher?
No. Well,
I'm gonna go lower.
I would
than
say
that.
you definitely went lower. If
I'm gonna say
It was
ER
lower than that?
Yeah, you didn't give up.
Well, 10
runs.
runs. Like
No,
if,
yeah, I
if
know.
with 10 runs your ERA would be like 30 or something.
Yeah.
Your ERA would be astronomical.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't
That's what
that
I mean.
bad.
I thought
I'm
it would
gonna
be
say
awful.
I'm gonna say ERA of 8.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
Oh, you were wrong. It was lower. It's at 7.
Okay.
You gave up 4 runs. So your outing against Renner, we went 3 innings, and you gave up 3 runs.
You paint yourself as a way worse pitcher
Talking
than
about
you're.
myself as a baseball
You
player.
did not give up a run in your inning, in your third of an inning against Post 22, and then I'm not sure how that happened, but not necessarily that you didn't give up a run, but we only went a third of an inning. And then July 7th against Scott Catholic, you gave up 1 run in 2/3 of an inning. So 4 runs on 4 innings.
That's not bad.
ERA at 7. I'll tell you the WHIP at 2.75.
Hey.
The batting average against though will.
Better than the first inning out here, right?
Hey, that's a good point.
It is
Very good point.
2, 3, and 4 here for Pierre as the first pitch is grounded right back to the mound, and Carson Wood will throw to first, and 1 pitch and 1 out here in this bottom of the 4th inning. And we'll bring up Sudden Sun and Shine as Stosher is now 1 for 3 in the ball game. Batting average against, though, this will be the last question. Batting average against, how high or low do you think it was?
Am I guessing first again?
Either way, any of them.
350.
350. You want to go higher or lower?
chance. I'm gonna go lower and say I'm gonna throw out a guess here. 275.
You should have went higher.
Really?
It was higher.
Told you.
It was 412.
Oh. Oh.
You were able to
There
work.
it is.
You were able to work around. You gave up 7 hits in those 4 innings, so you're able to work around quite a bit. Here's a pop up to the right side. First baseman will make the catch as Sewell will retire Sun and Shine, and there's now 2 pitches and 2 outs here in this bottom of the 4th inning. It will bring up Will Eilers, who make that. So now we're gonna have a pinch hitter.
Well, to be fair, again,
Carter
to our,
Templeton.
Who on this team is going into their sophomore year? Do you know anybody? Pierre?
let's look at the roster.
Well, Trip Lindekug, who's not playing right now,
Yeah,
he's going into his freshman year.
Yeah, that's fair.
As that one will be inside for ball 1 to Carter Templeton. Now you put me on the spot here trying to look through all these. I don't believe anybody's going into their sophomore year as a freshman. If Landry Van Rokel is, well, he's a sophomore. Brecken Furman would be the only guy that's going into his sophomore year that has played any time with the varsity team.
Got it.
And played quite a bit during the spring season as the 2-0 pitch. This will be popped up behind home plates, and the catcher unable to find where that ball is at, so it will land foul. And the count's now 2-1 here to Carter Templeton, who is hitting for Will Eilers here in the bottom of the 4th. And you see a couple more guys get a chance. Well, it looks like maybe Goodman's still going to bat for himself. He will if Templeton reaches base.
Well, and that was the thing that I was going to point out, too, was batting average against 412. He was a freshman going to be a sophomore that year. So, like, 412, given the circumstances,
right, I would say
not crazy.
We're holding the standard pretty high for a guy that,
seriously.
was getting a chance to play varsity baseball and not even be 16 years old yet.
Right.
That'll be a walk to Carter Templeton, and it will bring up now Jackson Goodman. So now we'll go back to hockey for a second, and I love that segment. That was such a fun guessing game.
That was a fun game.
Jackson Goodman has played. He's 1 for 2. When you've gone against guys, how maybe quickly did you find out, or maybe like feel a little bit more comfortable, but when you played your first couple of games from Muskegon and you looked across the way and saw a couple of their big guys or their best players, did you feel like you were a kid and you were facing against a whole bunch of grown men, or did you feel pretty comfortable right away to go against those guys in the USHL?
I think I felt pretty comfortable. I mean, it's not like any of the guys were like scary in like the way that they looked or like their physical abilities, but rather like how good they were at hockey. I think that like when you turn to a fighting aspect, it's like I said, you're not scared of what the guy looks like, but rather like how good their like skill guys are on the other team. And so I think that there's a little bit of that fear aspect, but obviously you can't let them know.
So now this is going to be my favorite question overall. How much do you, when you're training, do you box? Because you've gotten into a couple fights, and granted, you're done for the game after your fight is done, but you're pretty much undefeated in fights, whether they get scored or not. You're pretty much undefeated when you get into a fight in the USHL. So do you take boxing lessons? Is it kind of one of those where you're in a hotel and you're saying, hey, get a teammate and let's spar a little bit? Like, how are you so good at fighting when that was never, can never be a thing in high school hockey here in South Dakota?
I wouldn't say I take boxing lessons at all, because I don't. I mean, like, sometimes Devin Dodson's got a punching bag at the Leisure Palace down at their store, but other than that, that's about the extent of my off-ice punching. But I think on the ice after practice, like last year we had he was our video coach, but he made a living out of fighting. And so and then Pat Maroon, I guess he was one of our coaches, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Like he fought for a living. And so I think having him and like him kind of teaching us techniques and stuff like that after practice.
We'll drop in for Bridger Babcock, who is on the hit column, as everybody in the starting lineup will get a base hit, and it's now a 15-0 lead for the Eights as they do all this with 2 outs, or this run coming with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, and so I think, like I said, it's not much off ice, but rather like on ice after practice. And part of that is my uncles, all being 6'3", 6'5", 6'6", and so they're kind of, I don't know, you can say that they've got the fighting physique, if you want to say. But I think that my uncle's favorite part of the hockey is the physical ability, and so I think that after I have a big hit, or if I fight that game, I'll always get a text or a call from all 3 of them, and so that's always fun. But
when we came to watch you play in Sioux Falls back in January, my wife was wanting to see you get into a fight, but I told her that you can't, because then we wouldn't watch him the rest of the game. You'd be kicked out for the rest of the game, as there's a ground ball to the shortstop, and Alec Eilers will ground out to end the inning. We'll go to the top of the 5th. But that would have been a lot of fun. I mean, it would have been a lot of fun to watch you get into a fight. But she loves the physical aspect of the hockey game, too. She loves the fights, and I've had to tell her a couple times, yes, it'd be fun to watch Carter Sanderson get into a fight, but I want to watch him play the whole game, so I don't want him to fight until. But then also, you can't get into a fight in the USHL with under 5 minutes to go. Otherwise, you end up with a suspension potentially.
It's a 15-minute penalty technically, and so if you fight in the first period or the second period, you're good, and you can come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do that, and then. But yeah, that's good that Kayla thinks that, because most women don't. Honestly, like my mom, girlfriend are all scared of that, and so. That's fair. And I guess me fighting, I haven't fought since I got my teeth knocked out, but
that's probably a good thing not to.
We'll see. I'm still wearing a cage right now.
Brian better do a good job of fixing your teeth up so you can go right back to fighting.
He better. I don't know how long I'll have him again, but knock on wood.
We are going to the top of the 5th. It is the top of the order, and again, the Eights can finish off the win here with 15 runs on 15 hits right now, and no runs, 2 hits for Spearfish. And what a magnificent job at the plate, Blake, here this first 4 innings or through the 4 innings for Pierre, getting those 15 runs. They were held scoreless in the third, but to get 11 runs in the first and then keep adding on to it, this has been a team that's had a lot of good at-bats throughout this entire ball game.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the Eights to kind of get a little bit of frustration out from the start of the season because, through 18 games with a 6-12 record, this is a team that really, needs a spark. And I think they got something of that against Post 320 earlier in the week. And now they're coming here back home on Oahe Days weekend, like Carter had mentioned before, and they're putting the absolute smackdown against Spearfish. 15 runs, 14 hits. Everybody in the starting lineup has a hit, and we have already seen a couple of guys come in as subs here in this top of the fifth. So, huge effort here in Game 1 for the Eights, and it's been fun to watch. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
New man at the plate. It is number 3 in Jackson Peters Hanton that is hitting for Darren Crooks here in this top of the 5th inning as the first 2 missed for ball 1 and 2 for Will Danberg, who's trying to get a 5-inning complete game. And Spearfish has to score 6 in this inning to keep the ball game alive. Otherwise, the Eights will take this first game here this evening. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-1. We also have Porter Hunsley behind the plate, lefty catcher.
I was wondering what was going on back there.
I couldn't tell for sure. I wasn't really noticing until he threw the ball back to the mound, as that'll miss outside. The count's now 3-1. So they've got guys probably all over the place right now here. Well, maybe move a couple guys just around to maybe Sutton, Sunshine, and Porter Hunsley, the only 2 guys that have swapped positions.
And then Templeton in right, and then Edson at second base.
So the count's now 3-2. So Riker Edson also into the ball game here in this top of the 5th inning.
How much do you think that the catcher and the home plate umpire are jarring right now, given the fact that they're brothers?
I think probably quite a bit.
I'm sure.
But a good picture for Mom to get.
Absolutely.
That one's is outside and taken for ball 4. Darren Crooks is the leadoff man. As the leadoff man's got on base on 4 of the 5 innings for Spearfish. As it's now going to be another man to the plate. It'll be Luke Poling, I think. Yeah, Luke Poling is the man that is hitting for Walker Wiesman. As there's a runner on at first, nobody out here at the top of the 5th inning. Here's the first pitch over for strike 1. So then, Carter, what did your mom have? I'm sure your dad. How strikingly different was it after a game where you got into a fight from what your mom had to say and what your dad had to say? Because I'm sure your mom was probably more concerned about how you were doing, and your dad was probably more concerned about if you won the fight or not, and giving you props if you won the fight.
Yeah. Well, I think 2 out of my 5 fights maybe so far my parents have been at.
Okay.
And so, including my uncles were at one of them in Muskegon, and so they loved that at family dinner afterwards. But I think my mom was definitely more scared, asking how my hands and my face were. But I've never been punched in the face, I guess, or to the point where it's like I've broken anything or like knocked teeth out from that.
That's good.
Well,
knock on wood.
I think she was more frightened, obviously, after I got my teeth knocked back with a stick compared to me fighting at all. And so, which obviously that's given because I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm going to the ER right now. But, that's to be said. As a parent, worrying about your kid. But I think there's definitely a fine line between my dad liking it and my mom hating it, for sure.
Tucker Olson to the plate here. The runner on at second was a strikeout of Luke Poling. And so now Tucker Olson to the plate with that runner on at first and 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. That first pitch will miss outside for ball 1. So as we're kind of getting close, obviously the game could still continue into the 6th inning if Spearfish scores 6 runs. But as we get close to the end of this game, I want to say thanks for coming up. We appreciate you coming up.
Fun.
And it's been a lot of fun to be able to chat with you about hockey and baseball and everything else. And don't be a stranger if you're back in town again during the baseball season. I guess even if you're in town during the hockey season too, certainly stop in and you probably. I mean, not that you couldn't do the color commentating in baseball, but I think you probably do some color commentating in hockey probably a little bit.
Yeah.
quicker. As here's a ground ball, diving stop by Shufflebine. He will get up the throw home. The throw will be high and able to slide underneath the legs of Porter Hunsley. And thankfully for Hunsley and for the runner coming in, he was able to slide, and Hunsley able to jump and then go down away from landing on the back of the base runner. But Spearfish does score on the RBI infield single for Tucker Olson. So it is the third hit, so I guess the two-hit shutout, I almost had it right in the top of the first inning, saying that he was going to get a two-hit shutout.
Yes.
It was 2 outs away from that happening. It's now a 15-1 ball game.
I wasn't going to say anything because I thought you were going to, or I was going to jinx it at that point, but
unfortunately, that's the third hit and the first run scoring, and the count's 0-1. But again, Carter, appreciate you coming up here, and it's been a lot of fun to talk with you today.
No, yeah, thanks, John. I appreciate the invite, and obviously done a lot of interviews in the past, whether here at the hockey rink or even down at the store, and so or the station, and so I think that it's been good. Glad I could come.
Ground ball that is foul, and the count's 0-2. We'll keep you hanging around until at least the end of this half inning. Anyway, but before I didn't want to pass up that chance to say it to you that we appreciate you coming up, and hopefully and again you can go back and listen on KCCRradio.com or KCCR Sports on YouTube if you want to go back and listen at all or catching some of it, and for those that maybe are here that you can go back and listen as well. Here's a fly ball to center field. Sun and Shine will make the catch, and there's now 2 down. And out away here for the Eights to pick up their first win today would be their 7th win overall and their then 6th win in South Dakota play, as Jack Scharf will come to the plates.
Going back to hockey, though, too, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. We talked about finals, Stanley Cup finals versus NBA finals. Carter said didn't watch a minute of the NBA finals. I will say, having watched both, Stanley Cup finals were fantastic this year.
The line shot that is down the left field line and into the corner for a base hit and extra bases, as Aiden Johnson will have trouble picking it up out in left field. It will be an RBI double to make it now a 15-2 ball game. And Spearfish does get a couple of runs to come in the board here on the top of the 5th inning, but still they need another 4 in this inning prior to that last out. But a big RBI double for Jack Scharf, and Sean Sewell to the plates here with 2 away.
No, yeah, like you said, I am obviously biased, so I have to agree. I think that it's the hardest and the most interesting trophy to win, especially to watch for people at home or even being at games. But I think that there's something to be said about the physical presence of a Stanley Cup Finals run, and I think that there's a lot of people that understand that too, and so they appreciate that and see the dedication that it takes, even in other sports too. Like, people recognize that, and they say, how hard it is to win the trophy, and so I think that's fun to see.
I do, too, want to go back to your USHL season and somewhat call you out. We talked about it again in an interview. But, you and I talked right before the playoffs started, and you're like, hey, we won the Clark Cup last year, but don't be expecting, for us to win the Clark Cup again this year, make that deeper on the playoffs. It's a different team than it was last year. And then you guys end up going to the Clark Cup championship and making that run from similar spot, but still, making that run. How, again, you've answered that question before, but I'll give you another chance to answer it, as there's a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
I'll let you answer it somewhat quickly here too. But how did that happen? How are you guys able to rally together as much as you did to make that run of the Clark Cup, where it felt like it was going to be? I mean, it's so hard to get to, regardless if you're the number 1 seed or not. How good was this team to make that Clark Cup championship run happen?
Yeah, I think we were really good. I mean, we had all the pieces that we needed. I mean, as a captain, I probably shouldn't have said that about my own team, but 5-10 going into a playoff run isn't the most promising thing in the world, and so kind of the guys coming together at the right time, and I wasn't the best on the ice during the playoffs, but I think that there was an aspect of my kind of leadership that really led to kind of our success in the playoffs, and obviously didn't win, but I think that there's something to be said for us going to the finals back-to-back years and winning the East. So, yeah.
And I will say before we take our last break, it was not that Sanderson didn't believe in his team. It was just that, he was being realistic, trying to have that, like every team, whether you win the Clark or the Stanley Cup, you're going, hey, don't expect us to go back-to-back. We were going to try to go back-to-back, but that's a lot harder than what you might think, even if the team is completely the same as it was the year before. But
especially with 5 wins going into that season anyway, for sure.
So it is a 15-2 final score. Carter, appreciate you joining us here this afternoon, and good talking to you. And we'll say thanks for the good luck that you brought to the A's here in this game, too.
Hey, yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. That is Carter Sanderson, 15-2 final score. We'll come back in 2 minutes and wrap it up here from Hyde Stadium. Back in 2 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we salute the service and sacrifice of our members. To show our appreciation for veterans, active duty military, and first responders, we're proud to introduce the We Salute Service and Sacrifice Loan Program, granting a special rate reduction on eligible consumer loans. Valid offer on new secure loans only. Internal refinances and unsecured loans do not qualify. Veterans, active duty military, and first responders, contact our loan team for more details. All deposits are insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we're big on you.
Wagner Auto in Pierre has been hitting home runs for over 100 years, delivering quality vehicles and top-notch service to our community. Whether you need a rugged truck, a dependable SUV, or a fuel-efficient car, we've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road. Proud sponsor of this season's baseball action, we're here to help you drive home a great deal. Stop by today or visit WagnerAuto.com. Wagner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer.
When the South Dakota wind howls and the rain pours, is your home ready? Introducing Pierre Roofing and Gutters, the newest name serving Pierre, Fort Pierre, and surrounding communities. Owned by Karsten Erickson, the same expert you've trusted for years at Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, we're expanding to keep our community covered. From full replacement to seamless gutter installs, Karsten and his team deliver. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Pierre Roofing and Gutters today for a free estimate. 605-280-8080. Pierre Roofing and Gutters. Built strong, built local.
As we welcome you back and in here to the post-game show, the Pierre Post States win it 15-2 over Spearfish in Game 1 of our doubleheader. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean. And Blake, 15 runs on 13 hits, no errors for Pierre. They get a great pitching performance from Will Danberg, who didn't even, he could have been half as good as what he has been and still would have been good enough because the Eights offense came to life. Walker Wiesman, by the way, had just one earned run of the 11 runs that he gave up in those two-thirds of an inning with the errors that all happened. But that's also tells you, too, for Pierre, they took advantage of the mistakes that Spearfish had. They didn't make a lot. They had 3 errors, but they took advantage of it and teed off on Walker Wiesman and then scored a few more runs on Carson Wood to make this a blowout game in Game 1.
Yeah, and that's what good teams do, especially, here in this middle part of the season. The Eights took advantage of Spearfish errors, and like you said, they didn't have a lot. They only had 3, but Pierre was able to take advantage of the errors that Spearfish made, especially in that first inning where they scored 11 runs on 10 hits. Wiesman only was only able to go through 2 outs, wasn't able to finish that bottom of the first before they went to the next pitcher. But regardless, I mean, that's what a big win that's going to, I think, lift this Post-8 team into hopefully, a long-ish winning streak, because playing like that and playing as confidently as you can against a Spearfish team who really came into this ball game and this doubleheader with a winning record. They came in at 9-7 prior to this afternoon's ball game. So if they can come in with that type of mentality and playing like that, I think they're going to be set up really well for a nice long winning streak, hopefully. Now, obviously, a lot of it's dependent upon you want to play one of your better lineups against South Dakota teams, and with tournaments coming up, they may try some things out at new positions, so they may not be necessarily as concerned about winning or losing a game at that point. But I think this definitely moves the Eights in the right direction, especially with a win, a convincing win as big as this one in game number 1 of this doubleheader.
15-2 win as everybody in the starting lineup got a base hit. As Carter Shufflebein goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a double and a triple. Hudson Stosher was 1 for 2. By the way, Riker Edson was the one that hit for him in the bottom of the 4th. But 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a sac fly RBI. Sunshine went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Will Eilers went 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Carter Templeton drew a walk in his place. Jackson Goodman went 1 for 2 with an RBI, reached base all 4 times. Richard Babcock ends up going 1 for 3 in the ball game with 2 RBIs, including a bases loaded walk. Alec Eilers had 1 for 4 2 RBI day in game 1. Aiden Johnson went 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI, and Porter Hunsley went 1 for 2 in the ball game. And I think Hunsley, the only starter that didn't get an RBI, but he did score twice. Everybody else picked up an RBI, but Hunsley was the unfortunate guy that didn't get an RBI, the 9 that came in, that started in that ball game. But a really, really good first game for this Pierre team over Spearfish, and an opportunity for them to come away with a doubleheader sweep here in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to have the presentation of the hometown hero. That'll be on the way here in just a little bit as well. But again, great confidence-building game here for the Eights, and a chance to now you have to go and make sure you get the sweep. And not that, this is not a Spearfish team. They're going to say, well, we just come out and show up and we're here, so we're going to win the doubleheader. That's not how game 2 is going to go. Spearfish is going to come out with a lot to prove. But
yes.
if you now 11-run first inning is going to be hard to duplicate. But if you're able to get runs on the board in the second game in the first inning and hold Spearfish to a 0 in that first inning, that's going to drive you a long way in the second game to keep Spearfish feeling down right now.
Yes.
Because, again, it's a great first win, but all it is just one win right now. You have to go get that doubleheader sweep to feel really good about how this day will end.
You really do. And that's probably the biggest thing that the Eights are going to have to manage coming into game number 2 is you put out a huge performance in game 1. Very, very convincing win. Scores reset in 30 minutes, so it's a 0-0 ball game again, and Post-8's going to have to just reset themselves here for game 2, find that gear again, and then really just kind of continue to kind of put their foot on the necks of Spearfish here in this game and really send them home with their tail between their legs, because that's what a team that's playing with a lot of confidence does. And, I think Post-8 in that first game and really this week has started to play with a lot of confidence, saying we can play with a lot of really good teams and beat good teams and really beat the teams that we should beat. So this is an opportunity for the Eights to make a really big statement here on a Friday night at Hyde Stadium, and we'll see if they're up to the task in game number 2.
And then going into game number 2, real quick before we get to that point, Will Danberg, he gets a complete game, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. He did throw 93 pitches, so he was actually close to finishing out his day before he got into that 6th inning. He would have been able to probably only get through 6, so he wouldn't have been able to go all 7, but he does get those 5 innings and picks up the win in the complete game to now be at 2-0 on the season and giving up his first 2 runs overall of this 2026 summer season. Walker Wiesman gives up just 1 earned run of the 11 runs that he had in 2 innings 2/3 of an inning, 3 1/3 inning for Carson Wood in relief. He only gave up 1 earned run, so only 2 of the 15 runs were earned by the Spearfish pitchers of game 1 and 2. But Will Danberg gets the win. Walker Viesman gets the loss. The time of the ball game was an hour and 34 minutes. So right around 7 o'clock, we'll have our second game. But again, we'll come back here shortly again after field prep is done and everything's ready to go. We'll have our hometown hero presentation coming up. But Blake, one more thought before we go to commercial.
Well, one thing I just wanted to say, it's great to see Will Danberg back healthy,
Yes.
isn't it? I mean, the kid is, when he is right, he is so dominant when he's on the mound. And, 5 innings of work, to your point, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches, a hit by pitch. 54 of his 93 pitches were for strikes. He was in command all game, and every time that Spearfish, aside from that 5th inning, he really was in command the majority of the game and was able to finish it out, slam the door shut. And I thought he did a really nice job of coming out after that 11-run inning, putting up another 0 and really slamming the door shut on this ball game of any chance that Spearfish had to come back. So awesome to see Danberg healthy. Huge for him. Great effort all around by the 8s. Everybody in the starting lineup had a hit, and that leads to a 15-2 win in game number 1.
So it is 15-2 win for game 1 of Pierre, and we will have, we're actually going to hear from News Director Zach Nelson still in the 5 o'clock hour with this 5 o'clock news coming up here in just a moment. And we'll then get you set for game 2. We'll come back on the air for the presentation of the Hometown Hero Award, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll have it here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. We'll send it back to the station, hear from News Director Zach Nelson on the way, and it is a 15-2 win in Game 1 for Pierre over Spearfish as we get set for Game number 2.
Bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for over 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732.
Your morning shouldn't start in chaos. At Pure Closets, we create custom closets, laundry rooms, mud rooms, and more designed to change how your day starts, lowering stress, lifting your mood, and helping you get out the door on time. Manufactured locally in Pierre, our solutions are built around how you live. Reclaim your time by reclaiming your space. Call Pure Closets at 605-223-5855 for a free in-home design consultation. Pure Closets, organized for life.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the parts you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Did you know a well-maintained AC will last up to 40% longer? Save money and extend the life of your equipment with AirTech Heating and Cooling. From Oneida to Fort Pierre, we help homeowners and businesses slash their energy costs with high-efficiency cooling systems and precision maintenance. Don't let a dirty filter or low refrigerant drain your wallet this summer. Experience the AirTech advantage. Call AirTech today at 605-945-0160 to join our maintenance program. AirTech Heating and Cooling, locally owned, keeping the Pierre area comfortable for over 20 years.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
The Fort Pierre City Council has delayed action on a street closure request made by the Fort Pierre Fire Department. The department wants to close Verendrye Drive from 2nd Street to Johnson Street as a safety precaution for a June 29th fireworks display. Casey Tibbs South Dakota Rodeo Center Executive Director Kaylin Bergeson says her board of directors is not in favor of the closure.
We are a multi-million-dollar building with very invaluable memorabilia inside that cannot be replaced. So are we insured? Yes. Could we rebuild the building? Absolutely. Are we ever going to be able to replace what's inside? No. If our building goes up in flames, we're not going to reopen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Public comment is not normally used on such requests, but Mayor Greg Kenzie allowed the signs to be heard. Fire Chief John Milligan says they've received permission to use the Verendrye Monument area for the display.
South Dakota Historical Society gave us the okay to shoot from the monument, and we are going to be away from the Casey Tibbs building, and we are shooting the Class C's, which are those are the small ones. Those are the ones that you buy locally, and that's where we're going to be buying those ones. We're not going to be anywhere near the Casey Tibbs building. We are going to have fire trucks around just for any little embers that could get away, but we're going to be very, very safe, and that's kind of why we want the street closure.
City Attorney Aaron Scheibe says the department isn't breaking city ordinance.
Since they're using somebody else's property essentially to discharge the fireworks, they would need those landowners' permission. But otherwise, it would be the same as any other citizen of Fort Pierre in terms of what they could shoot off. So they could shoot off anything that's allowed for anybody within the city. The closure of the street is kind of a separate question from whether or not they can shoot fireworks off private property.
Right. And to me, Kaylin, it almost seems like you'd want the street closure because it's going to be that much more level of protection, because it sounds like they're going to shoot them off anyway.
The Fort Pierre City Council intends to take up the street closure again at a special meeting before the end of June. A former Pierre police chief turned photographer has been named the Miss South Dakota Volunteer of the Year. Bob Grand Prix replaced his duty belt for a camera in 2014 after serving as chief for nearly 5 years. Grand Prix first started his volunteer work with the Miss South Dakota organization in 2005 when his daughter Nikki won the title. Grand Prix and his wife Becky served as volunteers for several years following Nikki's years of service. The Grand Prix volunteered as prep weekend coordinators in Pierre, securing facilities and preparing meals and lodging. For the last 15 years, Grand Prix photography has been his contribution to Miss South Dakota. Grand Prix serves as event photographer and conducts photo shoots for title holders at no charge. Grand Prix currently calls Nebraska home, but continues to provide photography for the South Dakota pageant and similar events in Nebraska. The Volunteer of the Year award has been presented by the Miss South Dakota organization since 2015, with exceptions for 2020 due to COVID-19. Naval Base Coronado in San Diego, California is hosting 3 NASCAR races this weekend, and Pierre will have a unique tie to the event. Each car in the top-level NASCAR Cup Series has been given a mission command, and Zane Smith's number 38 car and his Front Row Motorsports team have been assigned Littoral Combat Ship 38, the USS Pierre.
So a lot of sailors, especially if they're NASCAR fans, it's pretty exciting to have it on the actual naval base, have it close to where we're all stationed in San Diego. It's a pretty unique experience, first time happening. A lot of cool events they've had going on between the Navy and NASCAR. So it's been pretty exciting. We got a couple of sailors who will actually, Zane Smith, who's representing the Pier, and they'll get to walk with him out to his car. Another one gets to attend a driver's meeting with him on Sunday.
Culinary specialist Chief Petty Officer Donald Eddy says it's neat having their ship represented in a NASCAR race.
I think we did get kind of lucky since our whole number being 38 matched up with his car. So it might be as simple as that. They put a picture of the ship's crest on his vehicle, actually, just right behind his windshield while he'll be driving it. So if anyone tunes in, they'll be able to see the Pier crest getting represented, and I'm looking forward to actually watching the race on Sunday.
Eddie says they're expecting some guests to stop by the Pier before the race.
So we're actually waiting on his team, Front Row Motorsports, to arrive in San Diego. They're in flight right now. We're not actually sure yet if Zane's going to have enough time to make it over to the ship, but we know the majority of his team's going to get the opportunity to come on board and check everything out and see a naval warship for the first time.
Zane Smith currently sits 24th in the NASCAR Cup Series standings, 72 points behind the championship cutoff. Eddie is one of 12 sailors coming to visit Pierre in Fort Pierre on a crew visit from June 29th to July 5th. The race is Sunday at 3 p.m. on Prime Video. A national land management brokerage, appraisal, and energy solutions firm is seeking sealed bids for the sale of the Gunsmoke Ranch in Stanley County. The People's Company has set a bid date of Thursday, July 30th at 4 p.m. Central Time to receive bids on the 34,000-acre dry land farming operation. The ranch is comprised of approximately 31,345 FSA cropland acres in a large footprint that is certified organic by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That certification provides immediate access to premium grain markets. The Gunsmoke Ranch has supported a diverse crop rotation, including winter wheat, field peas, and other small grains. The operation is being offered as a unified landholding and not separate parcels. People's Company President Steve Burry says the land provides recreational and renewable energy opportunities. The North headquarters has a shop, storage buildings, a residential home, and 376,000 bushels of storage. The South site has access to U.S. Highway 14 and a 600,000 bushel capacity. The property is currently being leased to a long-term, reputable operator that has made significant improvements in recent years. And affordability has been a hot-button topic in Washington, and South Dakota Senator John Thune says that extends to housing. He says Congress is moving forward the 21st Century Road to Housing Act to address a limited supply of housing due to regulations.
As much as 25% of the cost of building a new single-family home comes from regulations. That figure rises to 40% for multifamily construction. As you can imagine, that contributes quite a bit to the price that Americans pay for that home. So this bill cuts unnecessary red tape that's delaying construction and driving up prices. It removes the outdated chassis requirement for manufactured housing, which will not only reduce the cost of manufactured homes, but allow for more innovation in manufactured home design.
Thune says the act will cut regulations at all levels of government.
And then there are the costs and delays associated with the environmental review process. This bill enables state, local, and tribal governments to streamline environmental reviews. It right-sizes the NEPA process and exempts certain rural housing projects from these extensive and often burdensome reviews. And it directs the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the USDA to coordinate joint environmental reviews for housing projects funded by both agencies.
Thune says the measure extends beyond just regulation.
If it's one project, there should be one review. And because federal regulations are only one layer of the costs and burdens placed on new home construction, this bill also encourages local governments to reform zoning laws to encourage home construction. Lifting regulatory burdens will do a lot to bring down housing prices and encourage more construction. But it's not the only aspect of encouraging home ownership. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act also takes meaningful steps to support financing the purchase of a new home.
Thune is hopeful the 21st Century Road to Housing Act can pass Congress quickly to put the provisions of the bill to work sooner than later. With your Riverfront Broadcasting News, I'm News Director Zach Nelson reporting. News anytime online at kccrradio.com.
As we welcome you back here and getting set for Game 2 of our doubleheader, we will send things over. I'll send myself over to the PA here in just a moment, and we will have our hometown hero introduction and presentation.
For decades, he's dedicated himself to helping young players grow not only as athletes, but as people. A teacher at heart, he believes in hard work, preparation, and giving every player an opportunity to succeed. He spent countless hours at the ballpark for a guided practice, offering encouragement, sharing his knowledge of the game, and advocating for players who simply needed someone to believe. always on the baseball field. For your selfless service, unwavering support, and love of the game, ensure that exemplifies what it means to be a hometown hero. Post State is pleased to announce this year's hometown hero winner, the late Bill Gates. Here to accept the award on Bill's behalf is Bill Gates Jr. and his family. Give me another round of applause for our hometown hero, Bill Gates.
And again, as we welcome you back here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, as Blake Dean joins us here in the press box. And Blake, you had a chance to play for Coach Bill Gaten, didn't you?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
Not as a coach. He wasn't necessarily coaching the Post State Legion team at that time that I played, but even then, Bill was always around the ballpark. He would come around he wasn't on staff, but he would just volunteer his time to come in and help guys, with pitching if they needed it, with hitting if they needed it. He was a big connector of guys that had talent here locally to a lot of the schools if they were good enough to play in college. I know that he had a connection to Indian Hills Community College in Iowa, where a few of my classmates ended up playing for a community college team and just giving them an opportunity to play post high school. But Bill was a fixture here at Hyde Stadium for years. I mean, if you were around from like 3 or 4 years ago till, just up until recently. I mean, even the past year or two, he was always around the yard in any capacity to help out, whether it was throwing BP, like you'd mentioned, John, or to assist the coaches in any capacity with, watching guys pitch and giving them tips on, okay, try this instead of this, or get your front foot down earlier or whatever the case is. And Bill was the epitome of a teacher, but also the epitome of just a good person. And he was a guy that, one of those, I'll give you the shirt off my backs type of a guy. I don't think the man had an ounce of hatred in his body in any capacity. And he was just such a pleasure to be around all the time. And I've said it before on, I think one of the spring broadcasts that we did. It's so different to be around Hyde Stadium now without Bill here, because he was such a presence throughout my life at this ballpark, and just not having him here, it leaves such a chasm, I think, just in terms of him not being here. It's such a strange feeling, and he's sorely missed by the Post State community at large, coaching staff, the board, the players who won't get his tutelage anymore. Just a phenomenal human being, phenomenal coach, phenomenal person. Can't say enough about Bill Gaten. And I shared on Facebook after he passed that you can't tell the story of baseball in the central part of South Dakota over the past 20 plus years, maybe even 30 years, without mentioning Bill's name, because he was such a fixture in this community for a long, long time.
And obviously for me, who moved here in 2018-19, he had stepped away from coaching at that point, but he was here a couple times where he was probably here more than a couple times, but I got a chance to maybe see him a couple times just because of being up here. So I didn't get a chance to, not always down there and seeing everybody that's here. But I got introduced to him and got a chance to talk to him for just a little bit too. And I don't know how many years ago now it was, but it was, you could tell that just, I mean, it wasn't an introduction that needed to be said about, how much he was a supporter of Post State baseball, but they made sure that I knew how big of an impact he had on Post State baseball.
Yep.
When I got to meet him for the first time and, and have a quick conversation with him again, because once the broadcast starts here, it's a little bit harder to kind of have a long, extended conversation with a lot of people. But just in the short amount of time, you could tell how much the guy just loved to be at the baseball field and how much he loved baseball. And being a part of the Post State board myself now and hearing, when we were talking about all this, hometown hero and everything else, and it was pretty quick of who the hometown hero is going to be this year and everything else. It was just there wasn't anybody that you could have asked that played for him, that got a chance to be around him, that would have had anything but a quick absolutely. That definitely, he definitely needs to be the hometown hero, and that very much deserved for someone. And like you said, he's going to be missed and is missed and going to be missed around the ballpark every single year here at Heights Stadium.
Well, and to that point, Bill was a guy that, and it's probably long overdue, to be honest with you, because he was such a fixture here, and it really is. It's good to see Bill Jr. here to accept the award on his behalf, but I think just another proponent of give people their flowers while they're still around, because Bill would have lit up with joy to receive an award like this. I mean, and so it's one of those things that it's a really touching thing for him to be this year's recipient, but one, definitely long overdue, and two, I think that just to be able to give somebody their respect while they are still around is something that I think going forward as just a not only Post 8 but just as a world at large, I think something that we can take away from, because obviously it's very touching for Bill Jr. to hear that, but he wasn't the one actively doing all of that stuff. So, but really, really cool nonetheless for Bill to be this year's recipient, and couldn't have gone to a better person.
We are just about set to go for our second game here of the doubleheader. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Hudson Schaefer is on the mound to get us started in this second game of the doubleheader. And we'll tell you his stats here in just a moment, but it is good to get this second game underway. Beautiful night here at Hyatt Stadium. We didn't get you the temperature of first pitch on the broadcast, but it is 77 degrees right now here at Hyatt Stadium, and that is on a mid-June or starting to get late June nights. We're going to take it as that first pitch is upstairs for ball one at 6:06 here in game two, which, by the way, last year, Owyhee days, because we didn't have a baseball game, and I was able to then help with the MC of the night for the music, as there's a swing and a miss by Crooks, and the count's 1-1 here from Hudson Schaefer to Crooks. It was like 110 degrees at 8 o'clock that Friday night of Owyhee days last year.
Yeah.
And so a year later to say it's basically 30 degrees cooler, and it's still almost 80 right now, but it's 30 degrees cooler than what it was last year. We're going to take this one, as that one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2 here to Darren Crooks. It's just a beautiful night for baseball here at Hyatt Stadium. It usually is a beautiful night, no matter how hot or cold the temperature is, but it's certainly a beautiful night here at Hyatt Stadium. 1-2 pitch, swinging a foul back, and the count remains at 1-2. Crooks went 1 for 2 in the ball game in game one. He struck out swinging in the top, struck out swinging in the top of the third, and then singled in the first to lead off the ball game, and then walked in the fifth. And it is for Scharf. Make that Scharf, who's going to be the starting pitcher, but we'll get Crooks' numbers. That one just misses upstairs. He is coming in hitting .240 with those 3 doubles and 12 runs driven in. We'll have a few more stats to give you to start this second game since we didn't give a whole lot of stats in that first game. Here's a ground ball to the left side. Jackson Goodman, the third baseman, will field. His throw to first to Alec Eilers is right on the money, and the leadoff man is gone. Here to kick off the top of the first inning. And it brings up now Tucker Wiesman. For Hudson Schaefer, he has thrown so far, and how can I not find? There it is. 12 innings. This is his third start, fourth appearance overall, 1-1 record, 9 hits allowed, 13 runs, 11 of those earned, 11 walks, 12 strikeouts. The ERA at 6.41 as the first pitch is a swing and a miss by Tucker Wiesman for strike one. Batting average against that whip at 1.67, a batting average against at 200. And so for Hudson Schaefer, if he can keep those walks down, clearly with the batting average against, he can be very efficient. We've seen him be very efficient and very good pitcher throughout the spring season. And again, he can be very, the walks are a minimum in this game. He's got the stuff to get a lot of guys out and keep guys on the base pass. 1-1 pitch is line foul. Almost barehanded over there at third. And the count's now 1-2 by the third base coach.
Yeah, Huddy's just a competitor, right? I mean, this is a kid who has dealt with all sorts of adversity throughout his sporting career through high school, but at the end of the day, he has got this resiliency about him, and he just wants to go out and compete. And to your point, John, I think he's got the stuff. Fastball's got a lot of velo on it. I wonder if somebody's got a radar gun on him down there right now, but he just wants to compete hard for his teammates, and he's going to come out and give you everything he has every time he's on the field.
This was popped up to the third baseman. Jackson Goodman right over the bag at third, makes the catch, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the first inning. It brings up Walker Wiesman. So Tucker Wiesman retired. Now Walker Wiesman to the plate. We need Dirk Campbell down there behind home plate.
Yeah, we do.
But of course, leave it to a Cubs fan and then doesn't follow through. It isn't here. Disappoints us.
I wonder if the coaching of the all-around drip slow pitch men's softball team is taking its toll, and that's why we're not seeing Dirk at all of these ball games anymore.
Is he playing slow pitch softball?
No, he's not playing.
He's coaching?
He's managing, yes.
Counts 1-0 here to Walker Wiesman. 1-0 pitch. That'll be over for a strike. The count's now 1-1. I was going to make another Cubs joke, but
oh boy,
I'll leave that alone. 1-1 count to Walker Wiesman. In game number 1, he only hit just once. He ended up grounding out to the first baseman, Bridger Babcock. This one will be popped up. How about Jackson Goodman can tie record, never be broken. On the left side, he will call for it. It will land foul, as maybe he lost in the last second. Hudson Schaefer over there as well. It did bounce in foul territory to begin with, but it thankfully went that way to the third base dugout, so it is still a 1-2 count. But could have been dangerous if it had the opposite spin on it. It could have bounced its way fair. But the count is 1-2. And so Hudson Schaefer now trying to get out of this inning, looking for a strikeout. 1-2 pitch. That one is chopped foul to the first base dugout, and we'll do it again here at 1-2.
Well, I think to your point, John, about the same person always making the same out in every single inning, that obviously you jinxed and didn't happen. But I remember the story of when they were barnstorming back in the 1930s. Satchel Paige and his team, whenever they would play, it was like the last inning or something, and he would come on to close the game, and they would bring the outfielders in. Like, he would just say, "All right, outfielders, come on in." And so there wouldn't be an outfield. He'd strike out the first guy, and then before the second out, "All right, infielders, come on in." So it was just him and the catcher out there, and just mowing dudes down. I mean, granted, when you're barnstorming across the country like that, you're not facing the highest quality competition, but still, just would have been cool to be like, "All right, strike out, or ground out, or pop out" to Jackson Goodman in that case.
Well, it is a strikeout, so Hudson Schaefer could have sent the infield and outfield all the way in that last at-bat anyway.
That last one he could have.
It is a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the first for Hudson Schaefer. We'll step aside for a minute. You're listening to Post-State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the first, and it is no score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. John Wickler alongside a hungry Blake Dean.
Didn't get a chance to eat between games.
It is Carter Shufflebein, Hudson Stosher, Sun and Shine, followed by Will Eilers, Jackson Goodman, and Alec Eilers, Aiden Johnson, Riker Edson, and Porter Hunsley. The 9 men at the plate for the Eights here in Game 2, and they go against Jack Scharf, who is going to be making his third start, 6th appearance overall, 10 in the third inning so far. He has 1-0 record, 10 hits, 14 runs, 13 of them earned, 18 walks, 10 strikeouts, the ERA at 8.81, whip at 2.71, a batting average against at 270. As it is Carter Shufflebein, who went 2 for 4 in game number 1. He had a double and a triple in the first inning with a 2 RBI triple. So he was, after having half the cycle completed in the first inning, he ends up going with an error and a line out. So unable to get that cycle in the game number 1. First pitch is missing inside for ball 1 to Shufflebein. He was coming into today and has maybe upped his batting average. Actually, he might have hurt his batting average because he's hitting .556. So to go .500 hurts your batting average. This would be fouled out of play on the right side and make the count go 1-1. But he is .556, an OPS at over 1,000, 1.507. He's got 4 doubles, 3 triples. He's got 2 home runs, which have come in the bottom of the first. That pitch misses inside behind Shufflebein. He's driven in 10 runs, now make it 12 after his 2 RBI performance in game number 1, which, when you look at the team leader in RBIs, Hudson Stosher has taken the lead with his 2 runs driven in to Sun and Shine's only 1 RBI. There's a check swing, but it would be a full swing called by the home plate umpire. That counts now 2-2. And he has so far only 3 stolen bases. This one is flown out to right field. Backing up is the right fielder to make the catch, and Johnson will put away Shufflebein for the first out. And a rarity that after the spring season where Shufflebein had 30 steals, he's only gotten 3 so far here in the summer. But some of that is he's got guys in front of him. Other times he's already at second or third base,
Right.
So you're probably not stealing too many bases at that point anyway.
Right. And some of it could be, difference in coaching style also that, Coach Iverson maybe isn't as willing to give the green light out as far as stealing bases. But to your point, I think a lot of it has to do with just circumstance more so than anything else.
1-0 pitch here to Hudson Stosher. That'll miss for a ball, and the count's now 2-0. He went 1 for 2 in the ball game with 3 plate appearances. He had an RBI single in the first, and he has sac fly RBI in the second. So he leads the team with 16 runs driven in now. Sun and Shine behind him at 15. And Sun and Shine had 29 during the regular season during the season for the spring year. And these 2 guys are battling back and forth for the team lead in RBIs here in the summer season right now. There's a 4-pitch walk to Stosher, and it will bring up now Sun and Shine to the plate. As In game number 1 for Sunshine, he went 2 for 4 with an RBI single in the first. He had both of his hits came in the first. And, of course, the Eights had 11 runs on 10 hits. They had just 3 hits in the other 3 innings that they came to the plate. That pitch will miss low for ball 1 by Jack Scharf. Here in game 2, it was a 15-2 win for Pierre in 5 innings in game number 1. As the Eights knocked off Spearfish with that 10-run rule victory. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 1-1. And a chance to talk to Carter Sanderson in that first game. And again, you can go back and watch and listen to that first game on KCCR Sports on YouTube. As diving back in safely at first is Hudson Stosher.
And I actually just got word from the KCCR research department that we've got another Dean in the crowd right now, actually.
Here's a fly ball to left center field. Moving over is a left fielder, Olson. He'll make the catch, and there's now 2 down. Is it the younger or the older of the 2 Dean boys that is not the current Dean boy in the press box?
The youngest of the clan.
The youngest of the Dean clan, okay.
And allegedly, research department tried to get him to come up to the press box to talk. I don't think he's going to because he's playing host right now. He's got a bunch of his college buddies back for Oahe days, so he's probably wanting to hold off on doing any
talking on the radio,
on the radio for who knows how long, because I think he wants to get over to the amphitheater relatively soon. So
counts 2-0 here to Will Eilers. He is legitimately like standing right below the window right
Is he
here.
really?
Yeah. We probably, you want me to yell at him? Be like John Kruk.
Hey!
Here's the ground ball. I'll get through the left side for a base hit.
Get Harry Carey on the mic.
And it's a single for Eilers to bring up Jackson Goodman. You think I should do it? Think I would scare him?
Honestly, probably not.
I got maybe a sweet tart I could throw at him. I don't know if I'll actually hit him or not, though.
Did you?
I got him in the back. Yeah, there he looks up. There you go. It would have been better just to start yelling at him. Hey! No, he didn't hear me that time.
Oh, he didn't hear you that time? Boo.
First pitch.
Yeah, he's playing host right now.
Well, missed for ball 1 to Jackson Goodman. He had to turn around. He looked down to figure out what it was. Maybe he thought somebody kicked him at first.
I'm glad he looked up, though. That's smart.
2-0. Yeah, he is a Dean. He does have some smarts to him.
Well, see, in that situation...
And by some, a lot.
No. In that situation, I would have been like, what just happened? And not look directly up. So
that one will miss low, and the count's now 3-0. I'll remember that the next time. Well, I don't know why you'd be down there and not calling the game with me if you're ever here. So.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that to you.
Yeah. I was gonna say you'll remember that. That would be interesting for you to remember that and me not be up here. Number 1.
Right.
Number 2. Who knows how long it'll be between those 2 times?
That you saying I can't remember things?
No, I'm just saying. You're saying that you're going to, and who knows when that will actually happen.
Here's a ground ball to the right side for a base hit. Stosher's going to try to come in and score. He will score standing up without a play, and Jackson Goodman hits it the other way with a 2-out RBI single here in the bottom of the first, and the Eights are right back up 1-0. And we talked about it, Blake. We talked about it after in the post game of that first game. Is that that the Eights have to make sure that they get a 0 in the top of the first and get a run in the bottom of the first inning to make Spearfish feel like, kind of here we go again. And that's exactly what they did, all coming with 2 outs to get that, well, not every hit, but the 2 singles to get that first run, to get them on the board and putting that pressure already back on Spearfish.
Yeah, huge job by the Eights here in this bottom of the first to at least scratch 1 across so far, and they've got another one 90 feet away. Good to keep the pressure on Spearfish, and we'll see if they're able to continue hitting well with 2 outs, which they've done so far back in game number 1. We'll see if that continues into game number 2.
And Eilers went from first to third on that base hit to the right side by Jackson Goodman. Alec Eilers here at the plate. He's looking to add an RBI to his total. He had 2 in that first game on that 2 RBI single in that first inning, as it counts 3-1 here to Alec Eilers. Aiden Johnson, the left fielder, waits on deck. But yeah, you're probably right. I wouldn't remember. That's too far.
Well, it's going to be a long time.
3-1 pitch will be ball 4. It will get to the backstop, and it's now a runner. It should be first and second. I think it was a ball 4 to Alec Eilers. Maybe he's pulling the stunt. Who was it that got hit by the pitch? And was it in Major League Baseball? He got hit by a pitch and didn't want to go to first base and tried to refuse to go to first base. Why can I not think of the guy's name right now?
Oh,
he was a big dude, and he got hit, and he was ready to hit, so he just stayed at the plate. But I thought maybe Alec Eilers was going to try to do that. But a run does come in to score. And it's now a 1-0 count here to Aiden Johnson on the wild pitch.
You're going to think of it in 2 innings, I bet.
I'm not going to think of it. I'm just going to try to Google it here real quick.
Oh, okay.
That one's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0.
There's a lot of crazy, weird baseball names that I remember and know. I don't remember that happening, to be honest with you.
Well, let's see. Was it Albert Bell? I think, Albert Bell was the guy that
would track, though.
Yeah, he tried to refuse to go to first base after he got hit by a pitch.
He was roided up, though, so.
Well, that was also the case for those guys in the 90s.
Could have been roid rage at that point.
Here's the 2-1. Johnson will foul that back. And the count is now at 2-2. So the deuces are wild here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2-0 lead for the Eights. Runners at first and second. A 2-2 count with 2 outs. And it will be Jack Scharf from the stretch. There's a line shot towards center field. Backing up is the center fielder and Crooks to make the catch. And that will take care of the bottom of the first inning. But it is 2 runs scoring on 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the second. It is a 2-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. As we welcome you back, it is the top of the second, and it is a 2-0 lead here for Pierre Post State on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And again, John Winkler here with the almost not hungry Blake Dean anymore. He's scarfing down that burger. It is 4, 5, and 6, Tucker Olson, Jack Scharf, and Sean Sewell. He might reach his base. It'll go to Connor Johnson. Here's the first pitch, and that will be popped up around home plate. Jackson Goodman calling for it right at the third base line. He'll make the catch, and 1 pitch and 1 out. Already the third put-out of the ball game for Jackson Goodman. And 1 down here in the top of the second. And it brings up Jack Scharf to the plate.
I will say the burgers here are fantastic. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
There we go. Keep. You don't have to be hungry when you're at Hyde Stadium.
Absolutely
or leave hungry
not.
From Hyde Stadium. There's a first pitch strike. Here to Jack Scharf, the pitcher. The 2-0 lead for the Eights here in the top of the second. Game 2 of our doubleheader. 15-2 win for Pierre in game number 1. That'll be upstairs, and the count's 1-1 to Scharf, who in game number 1 went 1 for 2. He had the RBI double that made it a 15-1 ball game. That will be missing for a ball. Actually made it a 15-2 game. And the count's now 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Schaefer to Jack Scharf. There's a line shot to center field. Porter Hunsley going back on it. He'll make the catch on the run. And there's now 2 down here in the top of the second, and it will bring up Sean Sewell with nobody on here at the top of the second. I think I want Blake Dean to only say, talking about the burgers. That's the only thing that
I can do that.
Now you said okay and started talking some more. So I was going to say that would have been the most probably hilarious inning that Blake Dean, all he talked about was just the burgers. That was the only thing that he had time to say.
It was good.
Here is the first pitch and popped up, shallow center field. It is Carter Shufflebein that will call for it, and that will take care of the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Hudson Schaefer. 2-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish at the end of an inning and a half, and one now full belly for Blake Dean. Out of the second, Pierre leads at 2-0 on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the second, and Pierre has a 2-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. And it is for the eights, Riker Edson, Porter Hunsley, and Carter Shufflebein. Anybody reaches base, it'll go to Hudson Stosher. 8-9-1 here in this bottom of the second inning on a beautiful Friday night here at Hyde Stadium. This is the final regular season Friday night here at Hyde Stadium for the Senior Legion. The next time that we play on a Friday will be at the Gopher Classic, but we'd still have plenty of home games left to go before we get to the end of the regular season. We've got 4 more home doubleheaders over the next couple weeks. It's hard to believe that we're closing in on the end of our regular season with how many doubleheaders we have left. Still a lot of baseball to still be played, as Riker Edson will take strike one. We're at home on Monday and Wednesday next week against Renner and Aberdeen. It's a 5 o'clock start on Monday, 3 o'clock start on Wednesday. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. Then Mitchell and Huron will be in town on Tuesday and Thursday the following week on the 30th and the 2nd. And that will be the final regular season home games. We hope to be back towards the end of July to be hosting the best of 3 playoff series. The Eights don't travel again until Monday, July 6th. So we've got 2 weeks here at home, as here's a number off the end of the bat. It'll be grounded back to the pitcher. The throw is a scoop job by the first baseman, Sewell. Not the throw might have come out of the hand and slipped out of the hand of Scharf, but he was still able to get it to the first baseman, and Sewell, with not much room to maneuver from that throw to get himself in a good spot, is able to make the play for the first out.
That's a heck. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's first out here, and it brings up Porter Hunsley.
Strike one there. That's a heck of a play by Sewell. To your point, I mean, just a spiked throw from Scharf, and like you said, hard to tell if the ball came out of his hand weird or just didn't have a good grip on the ball, or if he truly just spiked it. But heck of a play by Sewell at first to record the first out and dig it out of the dirt.
Here's a chopper, high chopper, jumping for the third base to make the play. This throw to first is not going to be in time, and Porter Hunsley is saved with an infield single, and that'll be the third hit of the ball game now for the Eights. And it will bring up Carter Shufflebein to the plate, who is 0-for-1 with a fly out to right. Good hustle by Hunsley down the line, and that high chopper made things very difficult for Bauer, the third baseman, to have any shot at throwing out Hunsley, and he still threw a strike to first, and Sewell was doing half splits to reach out there farther. And Hunsley still is able to beat it out. First pitch is fouled to the plate by Shufflebein for strike one.
Yeah, the speed of Porter Hunsley on full display there on that high chopper that he beats by a step, maybe even a step and a half. And now the Eights have a runner on first as a result.
And Hunsley's off with the pitch. It'll be fouled out of play by Shufflebein, and there's now 2 strikes, 0-2 count here to the number 1 man of the batting order. And we've talked about it on the morning show this morning and the last couple mornings here for Wyatt and I were talking about it, as that one's going to miss low outside. But Blake, you understand it too, and where yes, it's great to play a lot of home games at the end of the season, and that's always great on just the aspect of being able to have the home fans. But more so than that, maybe not so much this summer as other summers. There's still a long time to go, but it hasn't been as hot as it has been in other years. But it's a long, grueling season. To be at home and not have to travel for now 2 weeks in a row, that really helps guys rest and feel less fatigued, as this one will be grounded back to the mound. Throw to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. Hunsley is out at second, but Shufflebein is safe on the fielder's choice on the 1-4 ground out to fielder's choice. But the amount of travel saves here down the stretch can do a lot more than what meets the eye for this Post-8 team against other teams when they're having to travel, and they're traveling a lot more than what Post-8 is traveling.
Absolutely. And, Pierre being kind of the epicenter of the state and really not a whole lot around in any direction, teams are having to come into Hyde Stadium and probably spend late nights if they're not playing an early game, whereas that's Pierre's case going on the road a lot of the time, so that's what Pierre's used to, and a lot of times the other teams aren't necessarily used to that. A Shufflebein takes off for second. Throw may have beaten him there, but it got away from the second baseman and bounces into center field for a stolen base for Shufflebein. But you want to have as many home games as you can, to your point, John, to get the home crowd involved. And it's nice on nights like this on a Friday night for Pierre to be able to play in front of the home fans and get a good crowd out for a Friday night baseball game, because looking at the crowd tonight, a lot of butts in seats right now, which is a good sign to see for Post-8.
Here's a ground ball that is back to the pitcher again, and Scharf will make the play. He was made all 3 outs on ground outs as he was able to get the fielder's choice and then that ground out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the third. It is still 2-0 for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the third and a 2-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. John Wickler alongside the chowing down Blake Dean. It is 7, 8, and 9. Connor Johnson, Carson Wood, and Bray Bauer. I'm going to try to find every way to talk about you eating as possible without saying the same thing twice. I mean that in a good way, too. Blake deserves to have some food. As Connor Johnson lead things off as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. Connor Johnson, the right fielder, this will be his first time to the plate. 308 batting average coming in, 4 of 13. He's driven in 2 runs so far on the season And Spearfish playing their 19th game of the season now. That one's fouled back off the mask and the top of the helmet of Will Eilers. And the count's now 1-1.
I was going to say, you're just going to use every trick in the book to let everyone know that I'm eating on the clock right now.
Technically, I guess, yeah, that's true. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a miss.
Although, can you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, can you really say it's on the clock with the amount of pay that you're getting?
That's true.
For it? Counts 1-2 here to Connor Johnson.
So you're telling me I can do what I want as long as I don't swear on the air?
Pretty much. Just don't give us an FCC fine and you're good. Here's a pop-up to the right side. Hudson Stosher will call for that in the outfield grass. And there is one down here in the top of the third and brings up Carson Wood to the plate.
Although as long as we've been doing this together, you're probably willing to cover my FCC fine at this point. Do we want to test that theory?
No, I don't think so. I'm not so sure I want to test that theory.
Okay. I don't even know what a fine would be, to be honest with you.
More than I'm willing to pay.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Here's the first pitch. That'll be inside. It was still fun, and I'm sure I've mentioned that, and some people probably are tired of me mentioning it, but when the government was shut down, however long ago it was, the FCC technically was shut down with them, and the joke was, well, you can say whatever you want on the radio because they got to go back and find it. They can't just they're not open right now, so who cares if you say it? You can say whatever you want. They're going to have to go back and try to find you, and if they don't have the receipt for it, well, too bad.
Well, and then they would have to try to backdate
everything
while still monitoring all of the stuff that would be going on at the present time.
Yeah.
So
that was the fun joke. Did we ever do it? No. We definitely did not break any FCC violations of swear words. That would be outside the counts now 2-2.
We promise the feds, if you're listening, we did not say anything.
We thought about it. No, not even that either. Carson Wood, the 2-2 pitch from Hudson Schaefer. That'll be popped up again. This is going to be a tough play out in the Bermuda Triangle up the middle, and it will bounce off the glove of Carter Schuffelbein. And the first base runner on here in the top of the third inning. And there is one on and one out here for Hudson Schaefer to take on Bray Bauer.
That's a tough play for all three of those guys, like you said, kind of falling in no man's land between Hunsley, Schuffelbein, and Stosher. Just gets off the glove of Schuffelbein.
Here's a bunt by Bauer back to the mound, and Stosher will throw to first. It took him to the outside of the first base bag for Alec Eilers, but he does make the play, and the sacrifice is good. 1-3. It is an error to Schuffelbein. And while it's a tough play, I think that Schuffelbein would be the first one to tell you, like, yeah, you have to give me an error for it. I should have made that play. Whether it is or isn't, Schuffelbein would definitely say that he should have made that play. But doesn't go down as an error with now 2 outs and a runner on at second. And it brings up Darren Crooks, the leadoff man in the batting order as he ground out to the third baseman Goodman in his first time to the plates. Here is the first pitch from Schaefer, and that one to be flown out towards left field. Johnson on the run out left. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. And it is another scoreless inning for Hudson Schaefer. No runs, no hits, an error, and one man left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. It is a 2-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the third and a 2-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish of the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard. 3, 4, and 5, Sun and Shine, Will Eilers and Jackson Goodman. Anybody reaches base, it'll go to Alec Eilers. And here with 2 runs on 3 hits, and 1 error for Pierre. No runs, no hits, no errors for Spearfish here in this bottom of the third inning. Sun and Shine 0 for 1. He flew out to left in his first time to the plate. As he'll wait on the first pitch from Jack Scharf, and that will bounce in for ball 1. Coming up tomorrow, we've got a couple of baseball games for you. We've got 2 baseball games, both Saturday and Sunday on KCCR. We've got the Brewers and Braves. And then we'll have game 1 of the College World Series Finals between North Carolina and Oklahoma, as that one will miss low, and the count's 2-0. Then we'll have North Carolina, Oklahoma Sunday afternoon in game 2 of that best-of-3 series. And then we'll have Sunday Night Baseball between the Mets and the Phillies. Sun and Shine will sky this out into center field. Backing up is the center fielder Crooks. He'll make the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the third inning, and it will bring up now Will Eilers to the plate. Eilers is 1 for 1. He singled and then came around to score in that first inning. And Blake, between North Carolina and Oklahoma, who do you think is going to win the College World Series?
Just because I saw them play last weekend, North Carolina for sure.
Is that a flex that you were at the College World Series?
No, just that they have really kind of.
But you were at the, or did you watch them on TV, or were you actually at the College
No,
World
I was
Series?
there.
Okay.
Yep.
So kind of a half flex, but not really trying to make the flex.
Correct. Yes. Partially that, and also I think they've really just started to play a lot better as they've gotten more comfortable in Omaha. They had the game that I went to, they had a really close game with Ole Miss in that first opening round game where they pulled away late, but it was tight throughout. And I think they've just gotten more and more comfortable because I thought West Virginia looked really good. And then all of a sudden, North Carolina takes them out relatively handily, as we'll get a walk here and a base runner for the Eights as Eilers reaches first base on the base on balls.
Yeah, they have been playing some of the best baseball, obviously the College World Series, but yeah, they made the hot teams cold pretty quick.
Yeah.
And where teams look like they were going to fly into the College World Series and make a lot of noise, ran into that buzzsaw of North Carolina. But both teams are undefeated so far in the College World Series. Oklahoma beat Georgia twice. North Carolina beat West Virginia twice to 2 of those 3 wins to get to the College World Series Finals. Here's a pickoff attempt, and Eilers will dive back in safely over at first. But again, that game, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and then a 1:30 first pitch on Sunday. Both games will be on KCCR. If there is game 3, here's a line shot that'll get through the right side for a base hit. Will Eilers rounding second on his way to third. He will take third. Had to freeze for a moment to make sure that got over the head of the second baseman Wood, but he will speed around second to third. And for the second straight time for Jackson Goodman, he's driven Eilers from first to third on his second single, and his first and third with only 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. And it brings up Alec Eilers.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Goodman to go to the right side of the field, just go with the pitch rather than trying to pull it and roll over on it. He's able to go to right field and pick up another knock for the Eights, and that'll put runners on the corners with 1 out as Alec Eilers steps to the plate now.
He drew a walk in his first trip to the plate, counts 0-1. See if there's anything on here with 0-1 count. Goodman will take off. The throw will go to second, and it will get into center field. Will Eilers was going to score anyway, but the throw got into center, so it's now a 3-0 lead here for the Eights. And it puts a runner on at second and a 1-1, make that an 0-2 count. The pitch was called a strike, but still a chance here for Alec Eilers to drive and a run.
But going back to our College World Series talk, I think that's the other thing, too, that Oklahoma's really opened a lot of eyes down there in Omaha, especially beating Georgia and Golden Spikes, eventual Golden Spikes winner Dalton Jackson multiple times. I think that was something that I didn't necessarily think was going to happen. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a college baseball expert and haven't watched a ton of college baseball this year, but that was a game where, or a couple of games rather, where Georgia looked really good going into Omaha, and Oklahoma beat them multiple times.
That 2-2 pitch will miss low, and the count's now 3-2 to Alec Eilers. And if there is a game 3, that will be right over the top of us and playing our second game between Pierre and Renner on Monday. As the 3-2 pitch is grounded up the middle, that will be a diving stop by the second baseman. From his knees, the throw will be way wide of the bag, and then a diving catch by the first baseman, Sewell, is able to save that from being an error. It's an infield single for Alec Eilers, and it will be first and third once again. And it's Aiden Johnson now to the plate, but that play by Sewell, he had to dive for it going away from the bag at first, and if he does not dive to make the catch, it turns into a hit and an error and a run scoring, but it keeps that runner over at third right now in Jackson Goodman. And it brings up Aiden Johnson, who flew out to center in his first trip to the plate and swing and miss for strike one.
Yeah, just a heck of an effort by the right side of the Spearfish infield on that play to keep the ball from going into the outfield, number one, but then number two, to keep the throw from getting to the first base dugout and keeping this a 3-run ball game as of now.
And to really finish the point of College Baseball World Series, if they do go to game 3, the only way we'll have all of it, or the majority of that game, we'll see if maybe there'll be time. But if we do get a lot of rain this weekend and we don't play on Monday, that'd be the only way that we would have that third game, and that's also if necessary, and they also have to split the 2 games, Saturday and Sunday. Still not, I don't want to see a rain out here between Pierre and Renner. I want to see the Royals come to town. There's a swing and a miss from Johnson for a strikeout, and there's now 2 down, and it brings up Riker Edson to the plate. He grounded back to the pitcher in his first trip to the plate. But would love to see. Renner's another good team that's kind of been up and down throughout the summer that will still be a big couple wins to get against a team that is always competitive, whether they are in the state tournament or not. Obviously, Pierre knocked them out of the best of 3 series a couple of years ago, but they're always a competitive team. They won the state championship a couple of years ago. And it's always, even if when they're down, they're still a good baseball team.
Absolutely. Yeah, they are, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be hopefully a really good game too, but we'll see when that happens.
That pitch will be outside to Riker Edson to be a 2-0 count to the DH here in game 2 of our doubleheader. 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. 2 runs in the first, 1 here in the third. Runners at the corners with the 2 outs, and here's a ground ball that'll be up the middle. Trying to come up on it was the second baseman Wood, and it will go into right field. It'll be an error that will score a run, and it's now a 4-0 lead here for the Eights. And no RBI this time for Riker Edson. Alec Eilers goes to third on that error. But the Eights will add on another one and keep runners at the corners. For now, Porter Hunsley, he's looking for his first RBI today. He is 2 for 3 overall in this doubleheader, 1 for 1 in this ball game with a base hit. And he's got a chance with a runner 90 feet away to make this a 5-0 advantage here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, Edson did all you can ask a player to do there. Just put the ball in play and let the defense get you out. And that scored another run for the Eights, and now runners on the corners again with 2 outs, and Porter Hunsley at the plate already up in the count 2-0. We'll see if he can do some damage here.
2-0 pitch. That'll miss outside, and the count is now full at 3-0. Top of the order is due up next. Carter Shufflebein waiting on the on-deck circle right now. First and third, 2 outs. 3-0 pitch here from Jack Scharf. Taking all the way and missing low and away for ball 4. So we'll load the bases now here for Shufflebein. He had 2 solo shots in the bottom of the first inning of games 3 and 4 of the Dakota Classic to lead off that bottom of the first inning. now's a great time to get a third home run if you're Carter Scheffelbein, and being able to drive in 4 runs instead of only hitting one to lead off of an inning. How about one late in an inning for Carter Scheffelbein?
Absolutely. It would be awesome to get a grand slam here and break this thing all the way open.
Scheffelbein has driven in 2 runs so far today with that 2 RBI triple back in the bottom of the first in game 1. Reached on a fielder's choice, is 0 for 2 here in game number 2. He would love to pick up at least RBI 13, but why not make it 13, 14, 15, and 16 with one swing of the bat? And we'll see maybe if he tries to jump on the first pitch or the first strike that he sees. As a long mound visit here for Spearfish, but it will bring Scheffelbein to the plate. I'll put the call out right now. It's calling a grand slam here from Carter Scheffelbein.
Love it. Let's get it going.
I was pretty good at
pulling his inner Royce Lewis out of his bag.
A couple weeks ago, I was pretty good at calling for double plays, and then it happened. Maybe I can call for something on the offensive side.
There you go.
We'll call a home run here and a grand slam coming from Scheffelbein. Here's the first pitch to him. That'll miss. Well, no more grand slam. That will get to the backstop, and a run will come in to score. And it makes it now a 5-0 game. He still hit a home run. I'll still call the home run just to be a 3-run shot instead of a grand slam. But it is a 5-0 lead with a 1-0 count to Scheffelbein.
Well, we tried.
He's still got 1 run to score.
Absolutely. You'll take it every single day of the week as far as the ball team goes. But the call.
we can still get 4 runs to score in this at-bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's at the top of the zone for a strike. The count's now 1-1. He almost had a home run a couple weeks ago against Brandon Valley late in the bottom of the 7th. Missed it by a couple of feet. That one's upstairs, and it counts 2-1. He definitely did not miss the 2 home runs that he had at the Dakota Classic. The wind was blowing out, but I don't think the wind had anything to do with him hitting a home run or not. 2-1 pitch. He's trying to make it an 8-0 game. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-2. So the deuces are wild here with 2 on and 2 out. A 2-2 pitch upcoming here in the bottom of the 3rd. A 5-0 lead. Sharp delivers. Scheffelbein will pop it back foul, and it was right over the top of us. I would trade my call being wrong for a foul ball to come in the press box and for me to make a catch. 2-2 pitch. Here's a line shot up the middle for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score. They're going to wave in Hunsley. He's going to score without a play. And it's a 7-0 lead, and Scheffelbein's got 4 RBIs today, 2 in each game. And still 3 runs scored when he came to the plate. And so now it's a 7-0 advantage here in the bottom of the 2nd to make that the bottom of the 3rd. And we will have a pitching change here in this bottom of the 3rd inning. But a 2 RBI single for Scheffelbein. 7-0 is their score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein scoreboard. We'll step aside for a minute as you're listening to Post-8 Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Spring is the season for a fresh start, and that includes your technology. Whether you are looking to upgrade or need to breathe new life into your current device, CommTech is your one-stop solution. Experience the brilliance of LG OLED TVs, the immersive sound of Sonos and JBL, or the unmatched performance of Lenovo laptops. Buy with confidence thanks to our price match guarantee and 0% interest on selected purchases. We're your locally owned technology experts on the truck bypass. CommTech. We sell the best and fix the rest.
Koenig of Oneida, Pierre, and Winter has provided our services to growers of South Dakota for over 50 years. We focus on providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical, soil sampling, seed sales, and treating, stop in and see us at Koenig with offices located in Oneida, Pierre, and Winter.
As we welcome you back, it is a 7-0 lead in the American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein scoreboard, and it is going to be Tucker Wiesman now on the mound with 2 outs and a runner on at first, as ends the day for Jack Scharf, unable to get that final out here in the 3rd inning. And Post-8, with now a 5-run inning, has put things into another good lead here for the 8s. and looking for opportunity to maybe put a couple more runs on the board and trying to get a couple of 10-run rule victories over Spearfish. And by the way, this is a Spearfish team that has a win over Post 320. They're not a slouch by any means. And so for Pierre to come in and get a win, and like they did in Game 1, and now what they're doing right now here in Game 2, this is a team that's going to be a tough out in the postseason, and showing that by keeping a good hitting team of Post 320 down, and for a split of that doubleheader. And so this is very good for what Pierre is doing. This is not, regardless of where they finish in the standings, this is not the bottom of the barrel team in the state. They are very competitive all the way up and down the lineup, and they've shown it so far this season. But Pierre's playing very good baseball here this afternoon.
They really are, and this is exactly what we had hoped for between games when we were talking about, okay, you really stomped Spearfish in Game 1. Let's see how they respond in Game 2, and they're coming out bats red hot here in this bottom of the third, making it 7-0, and this is exactly what we were hoping for in between games, was a team coming out motivated and trying to just finish the job and finish it quickly, and that's exactly what the Eights look like they're going to do right now.
Hudson Stosher, he'll take ball 2, the count's 2-1 to him, the first man to see Tucker Wiesman. He's 0 for 1 so far, walked in the first, grounded back to the pitcher in the second. Ninth man to come to the plate here in this bottom of the third inning. Here's the 2-1, and Stosher will foul that one out of play, and the count's now 2-2. For Tucker Wiesman so far this season, 14 in the third innings. He has given up, he has been his 4th relief appearance, 6th appearance overall, 1-0 record. He's given up 12 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, ERA 1.47, whip at 1.05. As the runner takes off, Shufflebein will steal that standing up without a throw. And now he's got a stolen base. And it makes it a 3-2 count with the runner on at second. And a chance for Stosher to drive in Shufflebein. Here's the 3-2. This will be popped up on the infield. Shortstop and Scharf will make the catch, and that will put an end to this bottom of the third inning. But a 5-run inning for the Eights, as they do so with just 3 hits, along with also an error, and 1 man left on base. 7-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish as we head to the 4th. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
KCCR Pierre, AM 1240 and 98.9 FM, a Riverfront broadcasting station.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the 4th, and it is a 7-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. 2, 3, and 4, Tucker Wiesman, Walker Wiesman, and then it will be Tucker Olson. He might reach his base, and we'll go to Jack Scharf as the first pitch is over for strike 1 from Hudson Schaefer. We'll give you the totals for the starter in Jack Scharf, who will be hitting 4th in this inning, and tell you about Hudson Schaefer so far, too, as this will be skied out to shallow left field, and by shallow, 2 steps into the grass for Carter Shufflebein, the shortstop, to make the play in the first out here in the top of the 4th, and it will bring up now Walker Wiesman, as he is 0 for 1 with the strikeouts. To give the full stats here for Jack Sharp, 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, and a strikeout. And for Hudson Schaefer, as that first pitch is high and outside for ball 1, that was pitch number 38 here in the top of the 4th inning. As he has a strikeout, no walks, 1 error for the only man to reach base to this point. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-0. Here to the number 3 man, and Walker Viesman. Schaefer from the stretch with nobody on base. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one just misses low and away, and the count's now 3-0. Here to Walker Viesman.
Yeah, Huddy's done a good job on the mound so far. He's, again, just being really competitive, making guys get themselves out. He's not trying to overpower you as Walker Viesman appropriately draws the walk there. But he's making guys put the ball in play, get themselves out, knows he's got a great defense behind him. Says, I'm playing with a 7-run lead right now. I'm going to make you beat me, and it's exactly what he's done so far. It's been successful at it as well.
Tucker Olson is going to come to the plate.
Viesman's getting a runner for him on first base here in Poling.
Yep, so Poling running for Viesman, and pickoff moving back in safely. Tucker Olson 0 for 1. He popped down to the third baseman, Jackson Goodman, back in the top of the 2nd inning. So 1 on and 1 out. That one's fouled back for strike 1 by Tucker Olson. By the way, earlier today, United States Soccer, they won 2-0 over Australia. Now they will be advancing into the knockout round. They can win the pool tonight. If Paraguay would beat Turkey, United States will win the pool, or their group, and move on to the round of 32. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 1-1. And Paraguay and Turkey will play at, I believe, is it a 9 o'clock start? Maybe an 8 o'clock start. It is a 10 o'clock start. I was nowhere close to being right. Morocco beat Scotland 1-0. Brazil and Haiti are playing at 7:30 tonight. Count goes to now 2-1 here to Tucker Olson.
I will say it's been fun to follow that U.S. men's soccer team. They've been fantastic so far through the first 2 games.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I'm cautiously optimistic. A runner takes off, the throw will go to second, and that'll be maybe wide of the bag, but also late anyway, and it will be a stolen base for Walker Viesman. And so he is on at second, and the count is 3-1 here to Tucker Olson, and Schaefer in danger of walking back-to-back guys right now here in this 7-0 lead in the top of the 4th. 3-1 pitch here from Schaefer. Swinging a foul back, and the count is full now at 3-2. I'll say I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm enjoying the first. I mean, the United States soccer team is just, they've looked really good.
They have.
And some, obviously the field has expanded, but they're not beating the bottom teams that have made the World Cup. Paraguay's, when you look at what Paraguay did to get into the World Cup, they were beating Brazil, they were tying Argentina, or barely losing to Argentina. I mean, they had they had one of the best qualifications to make the World Cup, and the United States made them look like a bottom team. Here's a fly ball to center field. Porter Hudson will make the catch. Runner will bluff the tag at second. There's now 2 down, and it brings up Jack Sharp to the plate. And so now, they obviously, again, you can go 3-0, but then all it turns into is you got to win the next 5 games, 5 matches to win the whole thing.
Correct.
But it's been a fun first 2 games for the United States soccer team to make everybody really kind of believe that they've got a shot to make a deep run. Are they going to win? Well, it's going to be tough to beat some of the powerhouses, but they look like they have a shot. Here's a runner taking off for third, the throw to third, and stealing third is Poling, and he is in at third base with 2 outs. Pitch missed for ball 1. And so 2 stolen bases for Poling. Jack Sharp's got a chance to get 1 run back here in this top of the 4th inning for Spearfish. Here's the 1-0 from Schaefer. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1.
Yeah, they're starting to make some believers out of people in the U.S. men's national team, including one Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I just saw that he said if you aren't a believer, start believing. And when Zlatan speaks, typically things tend to happen. So.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic is
Swedish.
Yeah, he's a much probably nicer guy than Zinedine Zidane is. Because I thought maybe you were going to say, if you don't believe, he's going to headbutt you.
Well, I was going to say, that would have been more appropriate for Zidane, for sure, yeah.
The counts 3, I believe counts 3-1 here to the now shortstop Jack Scharf. 3-1 pitch from Schaefer. And a miss for ball 4, so second walk issued in the inning, and it brings up Sean Sewell with the runners in the corners and 2 outs here at the top of the 4th. Sewell is 0 for 1. He popped out of the shortstop Carter Shufflebein. I had to think of that for a second because when I saw that he was on the pre-games and stuff, I was like, why'd they put that guy of all people? Then now you're saying like, oh yeah, I'm getting an Italian and a Swedish guy mixed up.
French, but
I thought he was with Italy.
Nope, Zidane. Well, he headbutted not an Italian guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was. Boy, was that all the way back in like the 2004 World Cup or 2008?
6 maybe.
Or I guess maybe 6. Yeah, it would have been 6 or 2002. One of those early 2000s. Yeah. That one will miss, and it's now 2-0. But yeah, he didn't make any Italian friends after that.
Heck no.
Or much of friends in general after all that. Counts 2-0 here to Sean Sewell.
Well, and speaking of Zidane, I had seen. Go ahead.
This will be popped up foul territory, long run for Johnson, and in the left field line, he overran it, but he's able to reach back and make the catch. And will make Blake Dean come back with that thought in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th, 7-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health and your time matter to us. Our team takes pride in providing personal, professional care, from filling your prescriptions quickly to answering your questions every step of the way. Need a little extra convenience? We offer free delivery right to your home or office. Because at Shane's Pharmacy, you're our family, friends, and neighbors, and we're honored to care for you. Shane's Pharmacy. Feel better for less and stay well with us. Call 605-223-9200 or stop by in Fort Pierre. Shane's Pharmacy. Proud to support our local high school athletes.
It is the bottom of the 4th, and it is a 7-0 lead for Pierre over Spearfish on American Family Insurance. Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard, and it is going to be 3, 4, and 5. Sun and Shine, Will Eilers, and Jackson Goodman. 3 runs here in this inning for the Aids puts them in a spot to win in the top of the 5th inning if they can get a 10-run lead. But certainly it's a great start to this second game again for the Aids, scoring 5 runs in that bottom of the 3rd. As the first pitch will hit Sun and Shine, and that will help maybe start a rally to get some more runs on the board. Will Eilers will come to the plate. He is 1 for 1. He singled in the first and then walked in the 3rd. By the way, Blake, we'll go back to that thought that you were just about to say before that fly out in the inning.
Yeah, just that Zidane's son is actually the goalkeeper for Algeria, the Algerian national team. And the only reason I found that out was because I was watching Algeria's in the World Cup, and they were playing Argentina, I think, in their opening match. I can't even remember who they were playing. Well, it must have been. It was either them or France, regardless. Anyway, Zidane was there, and they were talking about the younger Zidane, who's the goalkeeper.
There's a line shot that's going to get past the third baseman. It's going to go all the way out towards the wall, cut off by the left fielder Olson. On his way to third, everybody will be safe. It's going to be a double for Will Eilers. Just past, it was almost, it was too quick for the third baseman in Bauer to make that play, and it went right past his glove as he was trying to go to his backhand to make the catch. And it's a double for Will Eilers, and it's second and third with nobody out for Jackson Goodman.
But anyway, just to finish that point, that Zidane's son is goalkeeper for the Algerian team, and he was French. And so I was thinking, how the heck does that work? Apparently, and I don't know if it's the case with every team, but if you are somehow have like at least a quarter blood of a certain country that you can play for that country's national soccer team. Zidane's parents like relocated to France from Algeria.
Zinedine
Zidane's parents did, because I think there was like some like conflict going on at that time when they moved or something. So Zidane was born in France, so he represented the French team, and as did his kid would also have French nationality, but he's playing for the Algerian team, I think, one, because there's an opportunity for him to play goalkeeper for a national team, but also just because he's a quarter or has a quarter of Algerian blood. So they said, all right, you're in.
Jackson Goodman drew a walk. Bases are loaded with nobody out. Alec Eilers will swing the first pitch and foul it back for strike one. Because there are a couple guys from the United States that their birthplace is not in the United States,
Correct.
but are American citizens, or at least have had parents that are American citizens, and all the grandparents, all that stuff that would allow them to be a part of. It's not quite like the World Baseball Classic where some of those guys had like a great grandfather play, or not play, but just live in that country. Like, you can go play for Italy because you have your forefathers were born in Italy and all that stuff.
Or Team Israel or whatever,
So the count's 2-1 here to Alec Eilers. It's got to be a little bit more tightly knit to be able to be a part of that national team for when it comes to the World Cup. As the count's now 3-1.
Max Kepler could play for Team Germany, though, if Germany had a World Baseball Classic team.
3-1 pitch is over for a strike.
Because Kepler was born and raised in Germany.
Which, they've tried to really make that World Baseball Classic, try to get more teams, as this will be a walk that will force in a run to make it now an 8-0 lead here for the Eights with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth inning. And they're trying to make it bigger and bigger and allow, right now, especially because it's still relatively new. It's started 20 years ago, a little more than 20 years ago. But you're trying to then add more onto it as Carter Templeton's going to hit for Aiden Johnson here with nobody out and the bases loaded in this bottom of the fourth inning. And he'll swing at the first pitch, ground that one over, and it's going to be fielded by the third baseman. The throw will go home, back to first, and not in time for the double play. 5-2 on the fielder's choice. They do get that run out at the plate, so it keeps it an 8-0 ball game, and the bases remain loaded. Again, 5-2 on the ground out, and it brings up now Riker Edson, the DH. Pierre needs 2 runs here with the bases loaded and only 1 out. They scored 1 already, but if they can get 2 more runs, it'll put them up by 10, and then in the top of the 5th, Hudson Schaefer can get a 0, and the Eights can win in 2 games by the 10-run rule, as that pitch is over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Here to Riker Edson, who is 0 for 2, ground out of the pitcher and also reaching on air. He's now down the count 1-2. Runner on at third, that is Jackson Goodman. Alec Eilers at second. Carter Templeton now over at first. That taken for strike 3, and Edson will go down looking for the second out. And it will bring up now Porter Hunsley to the plate, who need a big hit. He needs a big hit. Make this a 10-run lead here for the Eights in this bottom of the fourth inning.
Yep, big at-bat here in the ball game. See if we're playing at least for sure one more full one, or if Hunsley can get a base hit, that maybe we can call this game early as long as the 10-run rule holds.
1-0 pitch here from Wiesman. That's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Tucker Wiesman throwing to Walker Wiesman. The battery of Wiesman's here for Spearfish. This pitch, there's a line shot. That will get down, and that will score 2 runs as Alec Eilers will jog in. It's a 10-0 lead for the Eights, and Porter Hunsley. There is your RBIs for Hunsley, as we've had everybody in game 1 now in the starting lineup record at least an RBI or 2. And it's a 10-0 advantage here for the Eights on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it brings up Carter Shufflebine to the plates.
I think I'm going to let the RSBI thing just out to pass, because clearly that's not catching on. But double RBI there for Porter Hunsley, extending the lead to 10. And now we've got a 10-run ball game if Hudson Schaefer can finish out the job in the top of the 5th.
And there's a runner taking off for third. The throw to third, and Carter Templeton's thrown out trying to steal to try and get himself at 90 feet away, but he will be thrown out, and that will take care of the bottom of the 4th inning. So it is going to be 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. The Eights have a chance to win it in the top of the 5th, up by 10. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. When your tank's running low and your stomach is growling, there's one place Pierre trusts, DJ Settings. Feel up fast, grab ice-cold drinks, selection of fresh donuts, and that perfect cup of coffee to keep you moving. Friendly faces, quick stops, and everything you need right when you need it. So next time you're on the go, make the easy stop. DJ Settings. Fueled by community, driven by you.
For years, you have trusted Larry Fry Heating and Cooling to keep your home comfortable, no matter the season. Now that same commitment to quality service and expert care has a new name. Introducing Kruger Climate Systems. We're familiar faces, the reliable technicians, and the same dedication you've always known, now under a new banner. From essential repairs and routine maintenance to brand new installations, we're here to ensure your home's perfect temperature. Kruger Climate Systems, your trusted partner for a comfortable home. Call us today for all your heating and cooling needs.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the 5th, and the Eights with a chance to win this one as they lead it 10-0 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it is going to be for Spearfish, 7, 8, 9, Connor Johnson, Carson Wood, and Bray Bauer. And Hudson Schaefer trying to get these last 3 outs and send us home happy with the doubleheader sweep. And a 10-run rule ball game in each game 1 and 2. First pitch, swinging at the first pitch, out to center field is going to be Porter Hunsley backing up to his right. 1 pitch and 1 out. And it will bring up now Carson Wood to the plates. 10 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for Pierre. No runs, no hits, 1 error for Spearfish here in the top of the 5th inning. Did you catch that, Blake?
I didn't, no.
Okay. Carson Wood here at the plate. First pitch will come inside for ball 1.
What did you say?
Not going to say what I said.
Okay.
Because I can't, not because I don't want to, it's because I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Here's the 1-0 pitch for all the baseball fans out here. That was going to get too far away for me. And it'll land on top of the press box. The count's now 1-1. Yeah, now you're really seeing exactly what I was saying.
I do now.
Because it is.
When you said the baseball fans, that's what I caught on to.
Yeah, I made a comment without actually making a comment.
You did.
But the baseball fans understood the comment. You just weren't paying attention to me at the time.
Or not as in-depth of attention as I should have been.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike. The count's now 1-2.
Well, the other thing, too, is I thought you were talking about, like, swearing or something on the air again.
No.
Like, it's something that I shouldn't have said. I was like, ooh, okay. What shouldn't you have said?
1-2 pitch taken for strike 3, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning, and it brings up Bray Bauer. We had a sacrifice bunt back in the top of the 3rd. A 1-out error that could put Carson Wood on base. A 1-out walk and a 2-out walk in the top of the 4th for Walker Viesman and Jack Scharf. And the only guys to reach base with 2 outs now here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch swinging for strike 1 to Bray Bauer. Again, that's how I'm saying what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So you have to be paying attention. Yeah, I mean, I know you caught it that time. You got to be paying attention. Not just you, but those listening. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2, and the 8's a strike away from picking up a 10-0 win here in the top of the 5th inning. And Hudson Schaefer looking for that complete game. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to Carter Shufflebine. He will field and throw to first. Roll 8s for a 5-inning no-hitter for Hudson Schaefer. The 8s will win it 10-0, and Hudson Schaefer has a no-no through 5 innings in a 5-inning complete game. It is a 10-0 win for Pierre over Spearfish. We will come back in 2 minutes and finish out our doubleheader sweep of Pierre and Spearfish. Back in 2 minutes on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCC. Back here in 2 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Stulken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stulken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Has life left a dent in your ride? Or maybe you're dreaming of a fresh start for your classic. At Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, we bring vehicles back to life. Located right here in Fort Pierre with over 25 years experience, we specialize in expert auto body repair. From minor dings to major collision work. Got a boat or RV with fiberglass damage? We handle that too. And for projects needing a complete refresh, our professional sandblasting service preps anything ready for a perfect finish. For quality work you can trust, Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, 605-280-4451, 310 West Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we salute the service and sacrifice of our members. To show our appreciation for veterans, active duty military, and first responders, we're proud to introduce the We Salute Service and Sacrifice Loan Program, granting a special rate reduction on eligible consumer loans. Valid offer on new secure loans only. Internal refinances and unsecured loans do not qualify. Veterans, active duty military, and first responders, contact our loan team for more details. All deposits are insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we're big on you.
As we welcome you back, it is a post-game show, and Pierre Post State will win its 10-0 in the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean, and we have ourselves a quick doubleheader, Blake, as the Eights get 10 runs in those 4 innings. They get 10 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. It was Spearfish, no runs, no hits, 1 error. Hudson Schaefer, a 5-inning no-hitter, just 2 walks and an error for the only 3 guys to reach base. He was 3 over the minimum, and at 64 pitches. He's available to pitch on Monday now for the Eights when they take on Renner. That's 2 really good outings for both Will Danberg and for Hudson Schaefer. But really, especially for Schaefer, get a no-hitter. I mean, 5-inning no-hitter, you're absolutely going to take it. That's a great performance for him on the mound.
Yeah, it really is. That was everything you could have asked for out of Hudson Schaefer and then some. 5-inning, complete game, no-hitter, and the offense came to play in the second game as well. 10 runs on 8 hits collectively. Defense was fantastic behind Schaefer as well. Only 1 error, but he did a fantastic job on the mound and he's going to be an asset and a weapon for the Eights down the stretch, because now you have another arm that you can throw into this mix of Danberg and Stosher and Babcock and Templeton. Another arm that you can rely on in games like this. And Hudson Schaefer gave you everything and then some here tonight with that 5 innings of work. And like I said, the bats came to play as well. So fantastic doubleheader sweep for the Eights, and they're picking up a lot of momentum at the right time as they're going to get into relatively healthy part of their schedule here coming up.
And it's all at home over the next 2 weeks, 4 straight doubleheaders here at home, this one being the first of 5 straight, but 4 more here at home before they have to go back on the road again. And to touch on the Hudson Schaefer, we talked about limit the walks. He doesn't give them a whole lot of hits. You limit the walks, you're going to find yourself in a good spot. Batting average against has now gone from, I don't know what it is without looking at the stats here real quick, but it was 200 against, and now it is significantly dropped again. So when he is not walking guys and putting guys on base, he is a very, very tough pitcher to go against if you're an opposing team. So really good job by Schaefer on the mound. It was 2 RBIs for Carter Scheffelbein in that 3rd inning on a 2 RBI single. He also had an RBI from Jackson Goodman, 2 RBI single from Porter Hunsley. And the Eights took advantage of a couple of miscues from Spearfish, whether that was a wild pitch or a potential double steal. And the Eights were able to score 10 runs in 4 innings on just 8 hits. They used effectively 6 walks as well. And 6 of the 10 runs were unearned. Jack Scharf takes the loss at 2 and 2/3 innings. 6 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks and a strikeout. 1 1/3 innings for Tucker Wiesman, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks and a strikeout. Time of the ball game was an hour and 16 minutes for game number 2. Time of the ball game was an hour and 34 in the game number 1. And we mentioned it up here in the press box. You take those 2 games combined, 2 hours and 50 minutes. We played a 2 hour and 49-minute game in Rapid City for game 2 by itself on Wednesday. That just tells you how efficient everybody was in this game, in these 2 games to get the doubleheader sweep. But that's 2 big wins for the Eights. That will now be 8 and 12 on the season. They get Renner on Monday here at home, and as we mentioned, home cooking's the best kind of cooking, and the Eights have another 2 full weeks here and go through the 4th of July weekend before they end up going on the road to take on Watertown that Monday after the 4th of July. So these are, 4 tough doubleheaders, but very winnable doubleheaders for the Eights and a chance for them to get over 500. Obviously, they got to win a lot of the games. You can't look ahead past the next doubleheader, all that stuff. But they've got a chance to really put themselves much higher in the standings by the time this homestand is done 2 weeks from now with the games that they have against those opponents.
Yeah, they do. This is a good stretch and a good way to go into that meat of the schedule next week for the Eights, to your point, John. And, they've got Renner on Monday, assuming the weather holds and we aren't canceled in that one. They've got Aberdeen Wednesday and then Mitchell the week after that. So that would be the 30th of June would be that next doubleheader. So 2 doubleheaders next week against Aberdeen and Renner. A couple of good ball clubs coming into Hyde, and we'll see if the Eights can continue this really good ball, or the fact that they've been playing really good ball here over the last week or so. Let's see if they can continue to add on to that and get themselves rolling here in the proper direction. And heck, they rolled 2 games, roll eights a couple of times here tonight, and let's see if they can continue that as the season rolls along here, especially into a nice little homestand that the Eights don't get a whole lot of homestands over the course of at least over the course of the last few years, it seems like anyway. So nice to see that they're able to play here at Hyde for an extended period of time.
So a big couple of doubleheader sweep here. A 15-2 win for Pierre over Spearfish in Game 1, and then a 10-0 5-inning no-hit shutout for Hudson Schaefer in Game number 2, and the Eights are now 8-12 on the season and pick up 2 big South Dakota wins against Spearfish in a near record-breaking time, as we're done in 3.5 hours from first pitch all the way down to, by the time we get off the air, we're going to be less than a 4-hour broadcast overall, and that's doesn't happen very often, but we'll take it, and we'll take it here at home on a Friday night. A beautiful Friday night at Hyatt Stadium comes to an end with 2 big wins for the Eights at 15-2 in Game 1 and 10-0 in Game 2. I want to say thanks to Carter Sanderson, who joined us in Game number 1. You can go back and listen to it and watch a replay of the games on YouTube at KCCR Sports. But you can check out that conversation that we had with him from the bottom of the first on. But also want to say thanks to Blake Dean to my right, and back, well, you won't be here on Monday, but we will be back on Monday with coverage at 4:45 and a 5 o'clock first pitch for Pierre and Renner as we get set for that second doubleheader here at home, and it should be a fun one against the Renner Royals coming to town on Monday. That'll wrap things up for us here from Hyatt Stadium. It is a 15-2 win in Game 1, 10-0 win in Game 2, and Hudson Schaefer with a 5-inning no-hitter, and the Eights will get the sweep of Spearfish as we say good nights from Hyatt Stadium.
You've been listening to Pierre Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Pierre Baseball is brought to you by Kathy Sunshine Properties, Kruger Contracting, Bank West, Overhead Door, Stalkin Peterson LLP, Shane's Pharmacy, Capital City Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Fording Electric, Pierre Closets, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and AGE. Pierre Baseball is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gales Gas, Lamb Motors, Xander Auto Parts, Comtech, First Dakota National Bank, Envirotech, Kruger Climate Systems, May Adam, Hunsley Auto Body, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Koenig, AirTech Heating and Cooling, Pierre Roofing and Gutters, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, and Todd's Electric. Join us all season for more Pierre Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota's sports leader.